Wow, willkommen im Tartaria-Channel, Tartaria TV, heute wieder auf unserem Hauptchannel. Seid gegrüßt alle miteinander. Ich hoffe, ihr habt ein wunderschönes Wochenende verlebt. Die letzten paar Sonnenstrahlen noch genossen. Bald wird ja jetzt wieder eine Weile nicht so schön. Aber ihr habt auftanken können und hattet einen entspannten Start in die Woche. So, ich habe eigentlich ein interessantes Thema heute gefunden. Ich werde auch nicht zu viel jetzt ausschweifen, weil es wird, ich habe da schon ein paar Mal jetzt ein paar Videos mir angeschaut. Wie ihr seht im Titel, es geht es um den Zauberer von Oz. Der eine oder der andere dürfte ja diese Geschichte ja kennen. Und ja, ich finde auch die Ähnlichkeit mit Alice im Wunderland. Hm, also Parallelbeispiel sozusagen. Und die, wo sich ein bisschen jetzt mehr mit befasst haben, sozusagen im Bereich, ja, Illusion und Rabbit Hole, ne? Follow the right rabbit und so weiter. Die wird es bestimmt ganz megamäßig interessieren, was ich hier ein bisschen zusammengestellt habe, spontan. Deswegen heute wirklich so rein spontan, so wie ihr mich kennt. Ich bin halt ein spontaner Mensch und möchte mit euch zusammen einfach mal hier so diese paar Videos euch anschauen. Ich werde hier und da bestimmt auch noch was dazu lernen. Wichtig ganz an dieser ganzen Geschichte ist unter anderem auch die Gematria. Und das möchte ich heute auch hier ein bisschen in den Fokus setzen. Und selbst ich habe eben gerade noch bis vor 5 Minuten, bevor ich mich entschlossen habe, hier diesen Stream zu starten, noch was Interessantes gefunden auf YouTube. Das werde ich euch einblenden jetzt noch kurz. Wir werden die einzelnen Tabs durchgehen, die ich für euch rausgesucht habe. Ich werde euch gerne schon mal mein Desktop zeigen. Hier seht ihr ja, wie gesagt, noch mein Sammelsorium. Der eine oder andere wird bestimmt mitbekommen haben. Erstmal vielen Dank für die Feedbacks. Menschenskinder, ey, wir müssen uns bei euch bedanken. Für das, dass ich hier wirklich, ich sage jetzt mal so ja, wie drücke ich das am besten aus? Das ist, also das Video am Freitag Premiere hatte. Einige durften das ja schon am Mittwoch im Livestream sehen. Muss ich sagen, ist das Feedback bis jetzt wirklich unglaublich gewaltig, was da reingekommen ist. Auf der anderen Seite muss ich echt sagen, haben wir wirklich festgestellt, dass wir regelrecht, ja, wie soll ich denn das ausdrücken? Also, es wird richtig ausgebremst, warum auch immer. Ja, das zeigt uns wirklich, dass wir Thematiken angesprochen haben, die wirklich ans Tageslicht müssen. Ja, ich spreche jetzt nicht nur von dem Symbol des Ahns. Ich hoffe, ich spreche nicht zu laut. Müsst ihr mir sagen, wenn es zu laut ist. Ich habe jetzt hier ein bisschen im OBS noch rumgefeilt, dass das Ganze auch ein bisschen moderater jetzt wird, also ein bisschen professioneller, um es so auszudrücken. Ähm, Zurück zum Thema. Ja, also es ist wirklich unglaublich, was da stattfindet. Wir lassen uns davon hier nicht aufhalten. Ihr wisst, Odyssey ist unser Backup-Kanal. Ich habe noch parallel auch mit dem Vedun das abgesprochen auf Rumble und noch andere Plattformen, weil ich sag ganz ehrlich, mein Bauchgefühl sagt mir, wir werden auf etwas zukommen und wir haben soweit wie es geht jetzt Datensicherung und so weiter gemacht. Das zu dem Ganzen. Okay, also vielen, vielen Dank nochmal. Ich hoffe, das Video und auch die folgenden Videos, die kommen werden, ihr werdet eine super Unterstützung, das immer wieder auch zu verlinken vielleicht, wenn ihr Lust habt. Wird uns freuen. Vielleicht kann man das Ganze hier auch ein bisschen mal Anti-Matrix steuern, wenn ich das mal so ausdrücken darf, ja. Es ist einfach, ich habe auch so langsam die Schnauze voll, ehrlich, ja. Ich reg mich nicht auf, aber ich habe die Schnauze voll und das betrifft ja nicht nur uns als Kanal, es betrifft ja mittlerweile ein Spektrum an YouTubern unter anderem, die hier alternative Plattformen betreiben, um wirklich so viele Menschen wie möglich aufzuwecken. Und das ist ich sag immer ein Programm und für jedes Programm gibt es ein Antivirenprogramm und das sind wir, definitiv. Ja, Wir lassen uns da nicht unterkriegen. Ganz einfach. Das ist auch die Botschaft, die ich hier gerne mal auch mal heute vermitteln möchte an dem Montag. Und ja, wir werden heute auch deswegen hier ein interessantes Thema ansprechen. Wie gesagt, der Wizard of Oz auf Englisch. Und ja, ich habe dann so ein paar verschiedene Sachen hier uns rausgesucht. Ich habe jetzt noch eine Zusammenfassung auf dem TV-Kanal gemacht über den D-Chat speziell. Und jetzt warte mal, lass kurz überlegen. Ach so, der Untertitel ist schon integriert in dem Video. Ich werde es mal hier ganz kurz anspielen. Wer Interesse daran hat, kann sich das dann gerne im Ganzen anschauen. Ich bin mal kurz ruhig.
Durch das Ahnenfluss und man kann auch sehen, wie sie durch die Mitte des Ahns im Bild oben fließt. Der D-Chat auf der rechten Seite des Bildes wurde verwendet, um die Spannung zu erhöhen und das System zu assimilieren.
Okay, well, we're here today to do our first JED experiment. We're actually, it's our own raising of the JED. Harun, Avian here, and myself, we got together when I first arrived here in Cairo and laid out the plans to create a JED pillar to see the reaction of the materials that the ancients used to accumulate energy via the resonance project or the radiant energy project that we're doing here. So what we have is we have the Livestream. This is a special research device that I brought, and Harun actually had this, the base shaft or the base column is made out of limestone. And so what we're going to do is we're going to place that on top of the emitter. Now again, as we all perceive, this is considered a non-conductive element. And so what we decided to do basalt as the insulator or as the activator. We're still deciding on what's going to happen here. Now, just so you know, there's no metal in this whatsoever. This is actually considered non-conductive natural elements, and the basalt, very difficult rings to fabricate, but these guys are geniuses here, so they pulled it off very well. So what we're going to do is we're going to create this spacer, and then we're going to add red granite as one of the, either we call it the antennas or the plates. So we're going to go ahead and start assembling it now and putting it together. And so what we're gonna do here now is we're going to create the backbone of Osiris. So while doing a combination of elements here, you're gonna see the JED is gonna start taking form. And then what we'll do is we'll actually energize it and actually feel what type of energy is actually gonna be emitting. This is the first time we're doing it. We haven't done it before the camera started rolling, so I'm kind of excited. I think a lot of you will be excited to actually see a JED coming into form in its actual 3 dimensions. I know a few of you back in the States are kind of waiting patiently to see this. So if everything goes well, we should have a tremendous amount of energy that emits from this pillar itself. Does it fit? Yeah, okay, good. So that's the cap. So now we have the completed JED at this point in time. So what we'll do is we'll do a slow introduction and power up the unit here. I'm going to start it from a low setting. It's already very strong. I'm very close to it. So it's a very powerful field it is emitting. Okay, so we're up to optimum energy. Now, when we start, it should be very interesting for us to see what happens when we interact with the limestone. So as you can see, energy is emitted from the limestone. Now look at the basalt. Okay, we'll look at the granite. So the granites are working as an absorber.
So, das, was ihr hier seht, ist eine Maschine. Ich sag mal Maschine, ist eine, also er produziert hier unten, so wie ich das verstanden habe, mit einem Magnetmotor oder einem Motor, der ein Magnetfeld aufbaut. Dann haben wir hier oben ein Holzständer, mal so übersetzt, in einfacher Form, und hier verschiedene Basaltsteine. Das hat man ja auch jetzt in der Übersetzung lesen können. Und das sieht ja dann aus wie ein Ankh, wie der T.A.R.T.A.R.I.A. Ich versuche das mal hier in Großform. Warte mal, hier so, ich glaube hier war es. So, ja, ist gut. Das sieht dann aus wie der T.A.R.T.A.R.I.A., wie dieses Bauteil von Ankh, wo ich beschrieben habe. Und für euch habe ich jetzt mal hier, weil ich habe das, ich weiß nicht, durch Zufall, bumm, es war da. Ich habe mir das gleich sozusagen für euch aufgenommen mit deutschem Untertitel und habe das ein bisschen zusammengewerkelt und für euch sozusagen online gestellt auf dem TV-Kanal. Schaut euch das mal bitte an, die Webseite, ist alles in der Beschreibung drinne. Und er oder die, ich weiß nicht, ob der jetzt eine Firma hat, habe ich bis jetzt noch keine Infos da genau recherchieren können. Ich weiß nur, er vertreibt dieses Gerät sozusagen international. Es ist wie eine Heilungsmaschine und das basiert auf der Tesla-Geschichte mit dieser kalten Energie, so wie ich das jetzt herausgeforscht habe aus dem Ganzen. Ich werde da noch dranbleiben für euch. Wenn einer oder der andere schneller ist, schickt mir die Info bitte über Telegram oder Discord. Ich wäre euch sehr dankbar. Ich finde das sehr, sehr interessant. Ich hatte euch ja auch ein Video über Teslas violetten Strahlmaschine gemacht. Und das hier war wirklich purer Zufall. Fragt mich nicht warum. Es sollte so sein und dass ich das euch hier jetzt präsentieren darf. Schaut euch das Video an. Es ist wirklich mega interessant und ich denke, da steckt noch sehr viel Potenzial drin. Der Mann scheint auch in Ägypten sässig zu sein. Super genial. Also ist jetzt nicht, soll jetzt nicht wie Werbung klingen, aber ich finde das super genial, dass man auch hier sowas sieht. Wir reden hier nicht nur über ein Symbol, sondern wir reden hier auch wirklich über eine Technologiemöglichkeit, die eigentlich damals genutzt wurde und heute wieder zum Teil unterdrückt wird. Ne? Er schreibt auch auf seiner Webseite, das ist nicht zertifiziert von dieser FDA. Warum wohl? Ne? Brauchen wir nicht drüber diskutieren. Und das ist mega. Also es gibt noch ein paar Videos, die könnt ihr über die Webseite euch anschauen. Er selber, sein YouTube-Kanal hat leider nur ein paar Videos. Ich habe euch alles in der Beschreibung dort verlinkt. Ein Muss für jeden, der sich für diesen Ankh und für diese Geschichte interessiert. Wie gesagt, ich möchte ja auch noch weitergehen mit dieser ganzen Thematik. Und das hier war wirklich ein Boom. Für mich ist das ein absoluter Boom. Also ich kenne ja schon viele Heilungsmaschinen, aber das ist echt der Burner, was jetzt hier ich gefunden habe. Und wie gesagt, schaut euch das an. Super genial. Dann habe ich noch, lasst mich jetzt überlegen, ich glaube letzte Woche auch noch ein Kurzvideo gepostet. Warte mal, habe ich das nicht hier schon? Hier, Saturn-Matrix. Ihr habt ja schon von mir den Würfel, das Video den Würfel, erinnert sich bestimmt der eine oder der andere. Ich habe hier eine Internetzusammenstellung gemacht. Super, meine Maus hängt schon wieder. Ich kann nicht mehr. Also ich glaube, das wird hier langsam zum, wie sagt man dazu? Es ist der Blockbuster schlechthin, ja. Jeden Stream muss ich hier die Maus suchen. Ich glaube, ich mache mir so ein Maskottchen hier im Livestream, wo eine Maus zu sehen ist, die dann die ganze Zeit hier Blödsinn treibt. Na gut, vielleicht kriege ich sehe es ja auf dem OBS, das wo ich bin. Könnt ihr auch euch gerne mal anschauen. Das ist wie gesagt eine Zusammenfassung, was erklärt die Saturn-Mond-Matrix. Ist hier im Untertitel. Ich habe das nicht mit Untertitel aufgenommen. Ich habe das in YouTube, von YouTube übersetzen lassen. Ich denke, der Inhalt wird soweit rüberkommen. Das mal hier so kurz zu den Netzfunden und News von Tartaria. Weiter geht's und zwar, das ist super. Jetzt habe ich natürlich hier den Overlay liegen. Jetzt muss ich natürlich, warte mal, ich klicke jetzt einfach mal hier irgendwas. Ja, ach, jetzt geht sie wieder. Super. Kommen wir mal zum Hauptthema, der Zauberer von Oz. Jetzt werde ich ruhig. Es ist mega interessant. Und wer hat das vorhin geschrieben? Lasst mich mal kurz im Chat gucken. Ich muss mal gucken, wer ist auch so viele Leute heute wieder online. Ist das schön, danke. Ja, manche müssen arbeiten, ich verstehe das. Es wird ja aufgenommen. Man kann sich das ja jederzeit mäßig dann anschauen. Wo ist der Kommentar? Der ist weg. Ah, doch hier. Mr. 23 schreibt, der Wizard of Oz, das ist der Archetyp der Heldenreise. Danke für dein Comment. Ich lasse euch hier mal kurz ein interessantes Video. Kommen wir mal zu diesem Glitch-Effekt oder Mandela-Effekt. Dürften auch einige kennen, Mandela-Effekt. Und, ach Quatsch, das Video ist ja auf Deutsch. Jetzt wollte ich noch einen deutschen Untertitel machen. Ich glaube, ich sollte mir mal eine Tasse Kaffee genehmigen. Wollen wir gucken, hä? Wollen wir schauen? Wir schauen jetzt. Auf geht's.
Hallo und Servus. Heute geht's um diesen Film, Der Zauberer von Oz. Ein legendärer Film, wie ich finde. Ich denke mal, die meisten von euch werden ihn kennen. Ich zumindest kenne ihn seit meiner jüngsten Kindheit. Er war zum Beispiel in Deutschland der erste amerikanische Film, der in unseren Kinos, also in deutschen Kinos, aufgeführt wurde. Das Interessante, bei diesem Film scheiden sich auch heute noch die Geister. Denn der Film beinhaltet eine Szene oder besser gesagt eine Sequenz, die für so viel Wirbel gesorgt hat, dass sie bis heute nicht eindeutig geklärt wurde. Das ist, wie ich finde, ein absolutes Phänomen, wenn man bedenkt, wie alt dieser Film ist, also 1939, Zweiter Weltkrieg gerade begonnen und Tod und Trauer, Elend auf der ganzen Welt. Natürlich hat man auch nicht die Möglichkeiten gehabt, irgendwelche Actionfilme oder Kriegsfilme und was weiß ich was in der Richtung zu machen. Man hat größtenteils Kinder-, Familien- und Musikfilme gemacht. Und Der Zauberer von Oz gehört dazu. Aber eben diese eine Szene ist dann wirklich extrem makaber. Und vielleicht liegt eben auch da der Hund begraben, falls diese Szene wirklich real sein sollte. Wir versuchen jetzt mal der Sache etwas auf den Grund zu gehen. Und zwar geht es um folgende Szene.
To Oz? To Oz. We come to see the wonderful Wizard of Oz. Here he is, a wizard of a whiz, if ever a whiz there was. If ever a whiz there was, the Wizard of Oz is one because of the wonderful things he does. We're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz.
So, das war jetzt die Sequenz, relativ unspektakulär. Zur Info, dieser Mitschnitt ist von der aktuellen DVD-Fassung und wir gucken uns das jetzt nochmal an und achtet mal drauf auf den Hintergrund, auf die Bäume und achtet drauf, ob ihr da erkennen könnt, dass sich etwas bewegt im Hintergrund.
To Oz? To Oz. We come to see the wonderful Wizard of Oz. Here he is, a wizard of a whiz, if ever a whiz there was. If ever a whiz there was, the Wizard of Oz is one because of the wonderful things he does. We're off to see the wizard.
Stopp! Wenn ihr jetzt den Hintergrund beobachtet habt, dann habt ihr eine Art Vogel gesehen, der sich da bewegt, der seinen Kopf hin und her bewegt hat. Ich zeige euch das nochmal etwas vergrößert. So, hier ist der Vogel jetzt eindeutig zu erkennen. Also man sieht ihn definitiv. Alles soweit auch in Ordnung. Und wir schauen uns jetzt diese Sequenz nochmal an. Allerdings nicht die DVD-Fassung, sondern die Videofassung bzw. die alte VHS-Fassung aus den 80er Jahren. Und achtet drauf, ob ihr dann einen Unterschied erkennen könnt.
Because of the wonderful things he does. We're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz.
So, wenn ihr drauf geachtet habt, dann ist euch aufgefallen, dass jetzt kein Vogel mehr zu sehen war, sondern eine dunkle Gestalt, irgendwas, was im Hintergrund zwischen den Bäumen baumelt. So, und wenn man das jetzt mal auf sich hat wirken lassen, dann sieht es ja eher danach aus, dass es sich da um einen Menschen handelt, der sich anscheinend erhängt hat. Und das haben anscheinend auch ziemlich viele Menschen damals gedacht, denn diese Version wurde damals auch original so verkauft, also als VHS-Kassette. Ich persönlich muss gestehen, ich kenne auch nur diese Version, also die alte VHS-Version, die wir gerade gesehen haben. Anscheinend muss es aber 2 verschiedene VHS-Versionen gegeben haben, wie der folgende Clip zeigt. So, hier anscheinend besitzt jemand die originale VHS-Kassette aus dem Jahre 1986 und wir schauen mal, welche Fassung dort vorhanden ist. So, hier sehen wir eindeutig, da hängt jemand und jetzt werfen wir mal einen Blick auf die VHS aus dem Jahr 1985.
As you can see, Judy Garland in The Wizard of Oz. What would you know? Oh, it's unopened, still sealed. Wow, they were right. Huh. Okay. Pick up that date. There we go, 1985. See, package, 1985, 1966. You can see everything there. All right, sorry that took so freaking long. It's not working, is it? Oh, thank Christ. Oh, shit. All right. Oh, my God. We're doing it. Don't die, camera. Okay. Oh, my God. We have to make it. Don't die. Is it recording still?
Timer.
Oh, yeah. We have to time it. We did a...
For the longest time.
Should have used some frog weed.
I wish I could remember, but I guess it doesn't matter anyway.
Because we're off to see
No,
the
we
wizard.
do now, don't we?
That's right, we do. To Oz? To
Finally.
Oz.
All right. Get it. Right over in this general area. It's a bird. Look, it is the bird. It's done. Can you see it? Are you picking up the bird? It's the bird. It's over. Look, there it is. You can see it. It's a bird. No hanging body. Look at that. Haha. Yes, I was right.
Ja, und wie wir jetzt hier gesehen haben, haben wir keine Gestalt im Hintergrund gesehen, stattdessen wiederum den Vogel wie auf der DVD-Version. Und wenn wir davon ausgehen, dass es sich um eine originale VHS aus dem Jahr 1985 handelt, wovon man eigentlich schon ausgehen kann, also ich kann mir nicht vorstellen, das war ja verschweißt noch die Kassette und dann kann es sich eigentlich nicht um einen Bootleg handeln. Ist damit jetzt das Rätsel gelüftet? Ich weiß es nicht. Was denkt ihr? Schreibt's bitte in die Kommentare. Ich werde mir das sehr gerne durchlesen, weil ich mir selber nicht hundertprozentig sicher bin. Ich frage mich halt auch, warum sollte man das tun? Also wer kommt auf die Idee? Also es wird ja behauptet im Internet, dass es eine gewisse Person gibt, die extra das so bearbeitet hat, dass man diese Gestalt im Hintergrund sieht. Aber wenn man das aus der Sicht betrachtet, dann würde das eben bedeuten, dass Millionen von Haushalte sich diese VHS gekauft haben und wer macht denn sowas? Also es gibt
Irgendwelche Fragen? Ich kann sie nicht beantworten. Und das gibt es auch, wie gesagt, in anderen Filmgeschichten, die, wo aufgedeckt schon worden ist, dass bestimmte Sachen anders da dargestellt werden, wie wir sie uns oder wie wir uns meinen zu erinnern und so weiter. Ich denke, das ist auch ein ganz wichtiger, ja, wäre mal so ein Stream-Special, wo ich dann mal so verschiedene Sachen raussuchen werde und mal zusammenschneiden. Fällt alles ein bisschen unter diesem Mandela-Effekt-Klischee, sag ich jetzt mal so frei raus. Man kann auch da sich in YouTube zu Genüge Videos zu Gemüte führen, die sich damit befasst haben, also Kanäle. Auf jeden Fall ist es wirklich sehr interessant. Das war jetzt, wie gesagt, hier auch ein Zufall. Worauf ich eigentlich hinaus möchte, wie gesagt, wir gehen mal Richtung Decoded. Und da gibt es verschiedene Kanäle, die ich euch auch gerne präsentieren möchte. Einer davon ist zum Beispiel hier Decode the Matrix. Ich hoffe, ihr könnt das hier ein bisschen entziffern. Der Kanal ist noch relativ frisch. Die Frau oder die Dame ist mega genial. Die befasst sich fast nur ausschließlich mit Gematria und entschlüsselt verschiedene Sachen. Das sind jetzt hier so circa 18 Minuten. Ich hatte aber mir erstmal überlegt, ich lasse das mal hier noch offen. Ansonsten würde ich das in der Beschreibung gerne verlinken. Bevor wir zu diesem Hauptfilm hier kommen, The Wizard Decoded, der befasst sich auch mit Gematria, aber auch mit ein bisschen interessantem Bildmaterial. Wie gesagt, ich habe mich da hier und da, das Thema überhaupt, der Zauberer von Oz, ist in vielen Aspekten dekodierbar, sagen wir es mal so. Aber ich denke, über die Gematria wird es immer auf dasselbe herauskommen. Deswegen habe ich mir das etwas längere Video rausgesucht. Ich kenne jetzt eher die Version von ihr hier. Nur wie gesagt, ich möchte das mit euch zusammen anschauen. Ich bin da auch nicht wirklich fit drin, aber ich finde das so mega interessant. Ich finde das wirklich so mega interessant, sich das mal anzuschauen. Und ich denke, hier und da werden einige Verbindungen entstehen. Bevor wir anfangen, würde ich gerne euch noch hier ein zweites Phänomen, was ich selbst nicht wusste. Also wer das gewusst hat, der kann bitte gerne mal einen Daumen hoch in den Chat schicken. Und zwar geht es darum, wenn man sich den Film anschaut, das erklärt er hier dann auch, Quatsch, wo war das hier? Das geht auch 9 Minuten. Was passiert dann? Und das würde ich euch gerne noch kurz präsentieren, bevor wir zum Hauptfilm kommen. Ich denke, ihr seid soweit okay. Ich bin jetzt mal ruhig und jetzt schauen wir uns mal kurz, was er dazu zu sagen hat. Und das ist wirklich sau interessant, habe ich nicht gewusst.
Of the rainbow has its origins within creationism itself. In Greek mythology, Saturn or Kronos, also known as Father Time, led to the creation of the universe. Kronos was fathered from Uranos, the seven-headed rainbow serpents of the sky, also known as the Ouroboros, and his mother was Gaia, also known as Earth. The rainbow serpent is castrated, leading to the creation of the goddess Aphrodite, and this is a theme which occurs throughout Masonic architecture, which I'll leave a video in the description about sacred temple, ritualism, and the goddess Aphrodite. In Gnostic teaching, the story of creationism revolves around Sophia and the pleroma, the primordial substance of the universe. Creationism itself is dubbed the fall of Sophia. The 7 colors of the rainbow are synonymous with Uranos, the Ouroboros, and the Caduceus, the 7 days of creation. In Norse myth, the god Heimdall is the guardian of the rainbow bridge separating mortals from the realm of the gods. Heimdall is the watchman and god of perception. Heimdall in the Rainbow Bridge is represented by the archway in masonry, and Heimdall gave the knowledge of runes to men. Heimdall is the father of mankind and has a son named Karl, or Freeman, which is a reference to the Masonic craft and guilds. Heimdall was born from 9 mothers, all representing the 9 different worlds of the tree of Yggdrasil, the cosmic world tree. The Wizard of Oz has the most prolific use of rainbow symbolism. Judy Garland was the actress who played Dorothy, and Judy Garland was a victim of sexual abuse by the early entities in Hollywood, which were subverting the female organizations within Masonry. For more information, I suggest you research Monarch programming, and there will be a link in the description. I've made an entirely separate video explaining the synchronicity principle and the Dark Side of Oz, correlating Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon album to The Wizard of Oz.
Here's how it works. Play The Wizard of Oz from the top and wait for the MGM lion to appear. Immediately following the lion's third roar, start Dark Side of the Moon. Turn the stereo up and the TV down. You'll know if you're in sync if producer Mervyn Leroy's credit hits on the musical transition as follows. Now simply kick back and judge for yourself both the lyrical and musical synchronicity.
It should be noted that the symbol of a triangle and a tire hanging from a tree is seen when Dorothy is first introduced, and this is uncanny symbolism of the Oranos and the world tree and the triangle of initiation in Masonic craft.
Balanced on the biggest wave, race towards another grave.
I'll tell you, the thing that totally blew me away out of all of the coincidences that seem to happen is when Great Gig in the Sky is on and the tornado is whirling. The movie took on a completely different feel for me there.
And coming up, we have actually one of the best transitions here. As it goes to color, Money comes up, which is the next song. As near as I've been able to determine, it's pretty much a cosmic coincidence.
There simply weren't the mechanics to do it. We had no means of playing videotapes in the room at all. I don't think VHS had come along by 72, had it?
It doesn't seem like there's a lot of evidence to support that it's intentional, but that certainly doesn't undermine how cool it is to sit and watch it.
The Wizard of Oz novel, written in 1900 as a Masonic parable, with Professor Marvel in his checkered black and white pants representing the Masonic floor and initiation, while Dorothy's blue and white checkered dress represent that of the Gnosis of Sophia. The deeper meaning of the Wizard of Oz and the two worlds within it are allegories to the divine feminine and masculine from the union of Gaia and Oranos, or the fall of Sophia in Gnosticism. Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz represents a would-be Christian initiated into the female lodges of Masonry. The Wicked Witch representing the Gnostic teachings of Sophia, whereas the Good Witch embodies pagan converts to Christianity. This is the somewhere over the rainbow, which transcends both ideologies. Dorothy's ruby slippers represent the blood of Christ, and the Good Witch's wand represents the teachings of the Order of the Eastern Star, a Masonic lodge permissive to women. After all, it was the Wicked Witch of the East that was killed accidentally by Dorothy. As any good Christian knows, it's not enough to simply accept that Christ was crucified and rose again, which is why Dorothy needs the ruby slippers to protect herself from the Wicked Witch of the West. The yellow brick road represents the Golden Mead Hall in Norse myth, or the top of the caduceus, the living word of God in the teachings of Christ. This is why the Munchkins, who represent the mortals in the Book of Enoch, as opposed to the giants, Nephilim, and Watchers, tell Dorothy to follow the yellow brick road. In Hollywood, these teachings were subverted in the representation of women by way of the femme fatale. And I've made several videos explaining how the Karen meme relates to these teachings and is a coercion of modern feminism ruining pop culture and entertainment. The phrase fatal is the slogan for the women of the Eastern Star, which stands for fairest among thousands, altogether lovely. There is also the Rainbow Girls Auxiliary Masonic Youth Organization, which I should also mention relates due to the Aphrodite symbolism. The inverted pentagram of the Eastern Star often rubs people the wrong way. The 5 points represent the 5 matriarchs within Masonry, or the 5 elements for those of a Wiccan persuasion. Otherwise, the 5 different phases of the moon itself. The light in this Masonic craft is known as Akasha, or the Sanskrit word for sky, which is a representation of Oranos, the rainbow serpent. You might have heard New Age practitioners and yogis refer to the Akashic records, which is the ancestral memory of these cult teachings, which have been passed down by word of mouth from women. This also relates to the Great White Brotherhood, which does not relate to race, but white magic. These are the teachings of Gnosticism to men within the clandestine cults that emerged from the Theosophical Society. The Akashic or astral realm is depicted by Dorothy's near-death experience after the vortex tornado, whereas the Wizard of Oz represents the male Masonic craft and the etheric and the Rainbow Bridge. This is why the Wizard of Oz and the Emerald City is over the rainbow. If the physical universe is one side of a coin and the astral is the other side, the etheric is the edge of the coin. Contrary to popcorn belief, these male-dominated fraternal organizations were not patriarchal control systems to subvert women. On the contrary, they were the teaching of women who had to carry out their craft in secret and use men as their subordinates. The man behind the curtain has no power at all. Or as Glinda the Good Witch tells Dorothy, she had the power all along. But that will be all for now. As always, check the links in the description, and thank you for your time.
So. Viele interessante Informationen. Was ich ganz faszinierend fand, ist, wenn man... ach so, mal jetzt ganz kurz. Ich spule nochmal hier zurück. Warte. Hier. Das erinnert mich so an dieses Disney-Logo, gell? Ist eigentlich dasselbe, richtig? So hier der Schweif, das Schloss. Und dann eigentlich hier so diese goldene Straße. So wie er gesagt hat. Ich werde das mal versuchen, noch in einem schönen Video mal auf Deutsch zusammenzufassen. Wie gesagt, ich werde mich da auch noch ein bisschen mehr einlesen, dass auch wirklich die Informationen so weit wie möglich auch richtig rüberkommen. Ich möchte da keine Fehler einbauen oder irgendwas dann nachher hier, ja, versaubeuteln, sagen wir es mal so. Gut, kommen wir mal jetzt Richtung Gematria rein. Oh, ach so, ja, was ich sagen wollte, wenn ihr das mit diesem Pink Floyd Album, ich glaube, das war irgendwie die Mondreise 2, wenn ich das richtig jetzt verstanden habe, mit diesem Film gleichzeitig abspielt. Es gibt, warte mal, habe ich das? Bevor ich das jetzt hier, warte mal, Wizard. Ah ne, The Darkside. Also ihr müsst mal googeln, The Darkside of Oz. Ich glaube, das ist der Film hier. Ja, genau. Da könnt ihr euch den Film mit dem Pink Floyd Album gleichzeitig anschauen. Mal kurzer Einblick. Also das ist das Album, parallel der Film. Hab's euch verlinkt im Chat, könnt ihr euch gerne anschauen. Ich werde es aber auch nochmal dann in der Beschreibung dann auch hinzufügen. Ich glaube, das werden einige Links heute. Ich werde es mir hier mal gleich sichern, dass ich es nicht vergesse. Und hier gehen wir nochmal zurück, dass ich den Link euch dann auch...
Rainbow Bridge.
Ruhig. Schauen wir uns mal jetzt den interessanten Film hier an. Decoding Chromosomes. Wie gesagt, werde ich euch verlinken. Schaut euch das dann mal in Ruhe alleine an. Mir ist jetzt wichtig, dass wir zusammen uns den hier anschauen. Nicht der Darkside. So, jetzt bin ich komplett aus dem Ding raus. Es muss der hier. Doch, der ist es hier. Den schauen wir uns jetzt an. Untertitel. Machen wir D-Deutsch. Deutsch. ABC, D. Ach, ist schon auf Deutsch. Na, das ist doch super. Hätte ja einer was sagen können. So. Ach so, und dann noch eine kleine Info. Vielleicht fällt mir gerade ein. In der ersten Aprilwoche zum Freitag hin haben wir so, also wir sind das jetzt noch am Organisieren. Ich denke, das wird klappen. Wird der Tartaria-Channel mit dem japanischen, also mit unseren japanischen Tartaria-Freunden ein Livestream machen. Und ja, wir werden uns freuen, wenn ihr auch dabei seid. Das Ganze schön wird gedolmetscht. Und ich denke, das wird interessant, so den Stand aus Japan mal zu hören. Und sie werden auch Interesse haben, wie der Stand bei uns so im europäischen Raum ist, geschweige denn auch in Deutschland. Das wird so ein allgemeiner Livestream werden. Ich bin jetzt am Überlegen, entweder wird ich diesen Stream, der wird von dem japanischen Seite her auf jeden Fall verlinkt. Ich weiß nicht, ob das Sinn macht, dass ich das hier parallel streame, weil ich ein bisschen Panik schiebe, dass es eine Rückkopplung irgendwie dann gibt, weil ich ja auch mit dem Mikrofon und so weit online bin. Ich werde mir mal schauen, ob das technisch sollte eigentlich möglich sein, dass ich das parallel bei uns hier mit streamen tue. Aber ihr werdet dann eure Informationen bekommen. Also wie gesagt, ein Tartaria Japan Deutschland Livestream in der ersten Aprilwoche. Ich gehe mal davon aus, Freitagabend. Wie gesagt, die Termine werden jetzt organisiert. Wir freuen uns tierisch darauf. Wir haben ja schon etwas länger Kontakt mit Ihnen und sind auch im regelrechten Austausch. Wir würden uns darüber freuen, wenn ihr dabei seid. Die Infos werden alle verlinkt. So, ich bin jetzt wieder ruhig, hole meine Kekse aus dem Schrank und noch was Leckeres dazu zu trinken. Ich hoffe, ihr macht das mit. Wäre schön. Ein bisschen was knabbern und noch ein bisschen dabei schauen. Im Chat bin ich da. Und vielleicht wird die eine oder andere Frage auch beantwortet, die ich nicht beantworten kann. Viel Spaß euch alle.
What you're about to experience are my opinions and truths. I'm suggesting they're possibilities for you to consider, in which you can then come up with your own logical conclusions. And a very grand and mighty welcome to all the fellow decoders out there around the world, wherever you are. My name is Logan, and this is Decode Reality. And today we're going to be breaking down and decoding the Wizard of Oz. And as you heard in the beginning, a cover rendition of The Wizard by Black Sabbath. What do they have to do with The Wizard of Oz? Well, they had a song called The Wizard, which was right here. Came out in 1970. And it was a B-side. It wasn't even the main star song. It was the B-side to the song Paranoid. But this song, The Wizard. And it was a cover song by this band right here called The Red Wizard. So big shout out to these guys. But what does it have to do, and why did I include that with this classic movie from 1939, The Wizard of Oz? So the majority of you, if not all of you, have seen this movie. I'm going to break it down like you've never seen it broken down before, but it's going to have a lot of twists and turns. It's probably not what you think it's going to be, because who is the wizard? That's really the main thing. Like, I know we have all these characters, the Scarecrow and Dorothy and the Tin Man, and but it's the wizard. What is the wizard? And is there really a wizard running this reality? Well, let's find out. And obviously the big takeaway was the element right here called osmium. And is this a coincidence that Oz can be spelled osmium, or is pronounced osmium with an S? And what does this element have to do with this decode? Folks, this is the gem. This is kind of like the needle in the haystack right here, but it's now in your face. So let's get into this presentation. I promise you this one is, this information I'm about to show you is some of the most important information I have ever shown in all of my 250 videos and counting. So if you're willing to stick with this throughout the entire presentation, I promise you will find some gold nuggets for your own personal life and decoding efforts. So let's get into the topics. Here we go. In the intro, in the zero, always want to include the zero, the intro, which is what I'm doing now. I've kind of included that. I always want to include that intro. Number one, where it all started. Folks, this one's going to blow your freaking mind. Kansas. Number two, God, the mathematician. Number three, operating system, because that's what it's all about. Number four, home. There's no place like home. Number five, of course, osmium. Oh man, this one's just huge. Number six, let's be frank. Number seven, 383. Number 8, 76. And number 9, I always like to hear what you saw during your observation of this presentation. So leave your comments in the section below. Keep them coming. I miss a lot of things, and I'm telling you folks, what I'm about to show you now, it completely rocked my world, and it just made me laugh and have fun. And again, this is for entertainment, because how can we take this stuff so serious when we can see how the script is just playing out in front of our faces? So let's get into the very first topic. Kansas, which is where this story originated from. The Wizard of Oz, it was Dorothy from Kansas. Why did they choose Kansas? Well, you're about to find out. I'm going to show you some things that just are mind-bending. Mind-bending. So, one of the reasons why Kansas was chosen is if you look at a map of the United States, there's that little red icon showing the very location of the geographical center of the United States. It's in the state of Kansas. So it's the dead center of the United States. And what's interesting is the location of that geographical center of the United States is right off of Route 191. And of course, what is the atomic, what is the most abundant anyway, because osmium has several, weight of osmium measured in a laboratory? Yeah, 191. So do you think there's a connection? Do you think I'm trying to fudge things? Do you think I'm trying to mock you by showing you this stuff? Or do you think they were mocking you? No, folks, there's just the code expressing themselves. Sure, people can become conscious of it, but here's the very first rendition, the ridiculousness of this code, the dead center of the bullseye. And why is it the bullseye? Because see, if you take the chakras, if you're a fan of the chakras, I hope you are, if you take the chakras and you lay them over the United States, and you can do it going latitudinally, which is what I have here, or you can take the chakras and lay it on a 90 degree, and you'll have the crown would be around the California area. That's right, California, that state is the crown chakra. And of course, the root would be in Hell's Kitchen, AKA New York City. And so we have in the very dead center, it would be Kansas, the heart of America. And why was it called the Emerald City? Because it's the bullseye, and it is the heart chakra. So there's kind of the giveaway. The bullseye is the number 28, and there's a very good reason why, I'm showing all of you this, because the city that the geographical center of the United States, the location is in the city of Lebanon, and the zip code of Lebanon is 66952. Both of them in numerology come out to the number 28, which of course is tied to Lucifer, because Lucifer is 28. And the bullseye is 28. So here we go, folks. The bullseye of the United States of America is in tribute to the heart chakra of the United States, the Anahata, the green emerald city chakra, which is primarily one of the reasons why Kansas was chosen and Dorothy was there. And the story originated in Kansas because of this situation going, this ridiculous, just comical code. And it's off Route 191, and osmium has an abundant weight of 191.961. I mean, are you kidding me? You see how the Wizard of Oz is tied to the periodic table? Make no mistake about it. And there's the bullseye. So I went on to get some further confirmations of what I'm showing you. Here is the blown up picture of the actual map, the overhead map of the geographical center of the United States. There it is in the dead center, and I have the bullseye and Lebanon matching the 28, and there's a reason why I have the bullhead here. Because what was interesting is when you look at this road, the way it was designed, who designed this? I don't know. But what I found very interesting is if you take that bullhead and you flip it 90 degrees on its side, and then you move it right over the top of where that geographical center of the United States is, the bullseye of the United States of America, it's the bullhead, the bull god. And that's where you get the Bible from. So you Christians, rejoice, because here's a connection for you tied to the Wizard of Oz. And the Bible, the Holy Bible, is tied to Taurus, because the Bible is the Taurian Bible. There's two testaments, the Old and the New, and it's tied to Taurus the bull, because Taurus the bull is the second zodiac sign. So of course it's going to run the Bible, and it's tied to the Taurus fields. Thank you, Santo Spinacci and company, Ken Wheeler and all those great guys. But there it is. And I mean, how else are we to describe this? I keep saying that. What do you see? But this is ridiculous right here. I mean, turn that bull's head and you move it right there and whammo. I mean, I don't think that is trying to stretch anything. And it's off Route 191, and osmium has an atomic weight of 191. Come on, folks. Common sense, logic. So here we go, starting with a bang with this whole presentation. So what about the coordinates of the geographical center of the United States, located in Lebanon, Kansas? Well, there it is, 39 degrees north, 98 degrees east. And, remember, The Wizard of Oz came out in 1939, and, there it is. So, folks, you got to start using common sense and logic, like, Victor Fleming and all these people, the screenplay. I know it was from, Frank Baum off of The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, but, did they come out with this in 1939, choosing Kansas because it matched up with the latitude, longitude? Or was just this design before man ever got here? And the thoughts that come in our heads, those aren't our thoughts. We're being used with the whatever's running this reality. But when you take the latitude, longitude, and you add it up, this is going to go 137 to 138, but this is the element that's going to contain that 137 and 138. It'll also mesh into lanthanum, but it's this 56 called barium. And this element right here is massive in describing how our reality works. The average of barium is 137.905. There's the match of the latitude, longitude of Lebanon. And when you go to numberempire.com, looking to the right-hand side of your screen, 137 is the 33rd prime number. And that's a match to where they were going to follow the yellow brick road. I mean, it was all about the Emerald City. You see how ridiculous this code is, folks? This is like ridiculously funny, to me anyway. So we have the bull's head, the bullseye, directly matching the numerology of the city, the zip code, the Route 191, you know, just all this code, right? Starting this off presentation with a bang, and you probably thought, well, wasn't expecting this. Yeah, but it's the Emerald City right here, and of course, emerald is the color green, which would go right back to that chakra and being the heartland of the United States, the heart chakra. There's no denying this when you can see all the esoteric layers to this. It's just hilarious. So astrology and religion, it's all tied up together. There's no separation. So what's the division for? Because everybody's just trying to be right. So let's going a little bit further. I decided to look into Lebanon, Kansas. Remember, Kansas is where Wizard of Oz all originated from. Lebanon, Kansas, the heart of the geographical center of the United States. It was founded in the year 1876. And I decided to check it out at numberempire.com. Look at the number that it's assigned to. The 1876 prime number is this number. What do you see right there? Yeah, it's the golden ratio, the Fibonacci sequence. Well, I shouldn't say the golden spiral. Anyway, it's the 1.61. 1.61. It's the golden ratio. And it's tied to the sun, and we're going to get into that. What I thought was also interesting, what about the area code of Kansas in this area? 785. Look at what number it's tied to. There's that golden ratio again. So we have the 785 area code, and then we have the founding date, 1876. They're pretty much a direct match. You got the 1, 6, and 1 in there in both of these expressions. How about that? So that leads into the second topic called God the Mathematician. And oh boy, this one completely blew me away, but let's have fun with this, right? So I decided to bring in the very original cipher in numerology, the Francis Bacon, which is a very pure cipher in its own sense, or right, because it uses the uppercase and lowercase letters, the only one of its kind, A through Z, 1 through 26, A through Z, uppercase, 27 through 52, tied to the cards of illumination, and the alphabet, of course. And there it is when you capitalize them all. It's going to get a different output if you mess around with the first letters being capitalized, but it's the 666. And a lot of you, oh my God, it's the devil. It's Satan. It's the Masons. It's the Jesuits. They're the ones that are behind all of this. Gotta have fun with this, but it's the 666. So using the rules of Francis Bacon to get your output, what you do is you take your total output. You should be doing this with your name. I had a decode on how to decode your name through the Francis Bacon. You get your total output. In this case, it's 666. You subtract 52 multiple times until you get to 52 or below. If you get to 52, you stop, and then it becomes the King Spades card 52, and you can figure out what card it lands on. But the 666, when you reduce it down, it takes 12 different 52s. You end up getting to the number 42. And now we're tying this Wizard of Oz and God as a Mathematician to the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, the 1970s book, and the TV show on the BBC, and it's the 42. It's life, the universe, everything, and I decoded 42. Specifically that number. If you haven't seen that decode, please check it out, but there it is. 666, the great beast. We're all the beast. We're the solo beast. It's all about the 42 because we're tied to that 42. That was the supercomputer's output of the big question. And going further, what does this 42 mean? Has a purpose for this Wizard of Oz, folks, because it all has to do with this mathematician. But the 42 is tied to this element right here called molybdenum, which means lead. And we know that Prison Planet is lead to gold. So think about what I'm showing you here with the 666 and being down here in the, remember, crucifixion, reincarnation, those words all equal the number 42 in the Chaldean. That 95 weight of molybdenum, its average is tied to the I am. 95 is the am. And the molybdenum comes from this word right here from the Greeks called molybdos. And there's that 33 tied to the 666. When we go even further than that, of course, we go right back to the Wizard of Oz and where they were headed, the Emerald City. So it's obviously the Wizard of Oz is playing tribute out to lead to gold. That's definitely in the scope of what we're seeing here, just by going on a completely different notion of God as a mathematician. And of course, let's bring in the Masons. Yeah, I better believe it, because there is no separation. These people got knowledge, you know? I mean, forget what you think about these people. Just go purely on the information that you get. Leave your opinions at home. And this, you know, molybdenum, if you go one step further, I showed, going back here, like, how did I get both outcomes? Because the Greek reduce all the way down becomes these single digits, but when you go one step up, the M becomes the 13th letter in the Greek. So it reduces down to the 4, and then this O is the 16, reduces down to the 7. But if you keep them in its pure form like this, you can even go to the isopsophy and get an outcome there. But it's the 105, and there it is, folks. It's what the Masons call the God. It's the great architect of the universe. And there you have it, folks. There is no separation, man, and there's no favorites, and there's not like, well, my way's the right way and you're wrong. That's absurd to say that, to even think that, because it's right there staring you in the face. What are you going to do about it? You're going to refute this information? You can do that all you want. That's totally fine. You got to make the truth your own anyway. So what about that 105? What about it? It is tied to red and blue, the red shift, blue shift. Thank you, Santos. You know, blue 5, 1 red. But anyway, that's for a different story. Going to the string of pi, that 105 is found at the 49th, 50th, and 51st decimal digits of the string of pi. 49 is tied to the fish, the salmon card, down in a hole, because it's the architect coming down here and playing out man or mankind. To what degree, to what level, I have no idea. What about the golden ratio and the numbers involved in the golden ratio? Well, the 76 found from the element osmium, we are talking about the Wizard of Oz, is found at the 49th and 50th decimal digit. See the match right here of the pi and the golden ratio? So, you know, if you've been using the string of pi, which, you know, I mean, I heavily use it. My last name is Payette, so I was definitely destined to start using it to decode, but I started to get into the golden ratio because there's a lot of truth from that, from the sun. And this connection right here is undeniable. You can clearly see that the great architect of the universe that the Masons call the God is nothing other than the Wizard of Oz in the movies. It's all the same, and it's tied to this element osmium because of these connections through pure mathematics and nature. This is the measurement of nature. This is not me trying to come up with some kind of theory. This is nature. This element really exists, folks. This really exists. And if you know what the 191 is, you know, battery is 19 or 91. And, you know, gold is 196. There's the permutation of that number, the 961. Folks, I could just keep going and going and going. I hope you can start to see how this code is completely fixed, and it was designed long before man ever got here. I can assure you that. So let's get into the operating system, the third topic. It's like, what does this have to do with the Wizard of Oz? Well, the Wizard of Oz is the operating system, or part of it. So, you know, when you look at this element osmium, obviously there's a match. Osmium is the Oz, it's the Wizard of Oz. the Emerald City, Kansas. I mean, you're starting to see all these things that are undeniable in this ridiculous comical code. So here's the operating system. I've come out with this before, but it's the OS. And when you look at the OS, just pure numerology and, the first letters of each word are the kind of the rudders of the ship. There's the 73. 73 is the 21st prime number. It's going to be tied to words like Zeus, tied to Saturn. Many different connecting points with these words in the 73 and the 21, tied to Tantalum and King Tantalum. But nonetheless, here's the OS. What is running this reality? It's the operating system. I mean, the computer or your phone you're on watching this transmission has an operating system inside of it. So this whole reality that we experience is also run by an operating system. Why would it be any different? And there's the 56 with the operating system. It's a 36 and 20, and we can break that down, and lo and behold, that's what it is. See, we're living in a movie. I don't know how that really works. Because it's easy to say, yeah, we're living in the Truman Show. Well, I don't see no cameras. But I know we're living in a simulation. This is like proof, support. This is the only thing I can go by to measure numbers and math and, equations, real science. And this operating system is tied to these words right here in Hollywood. Think about what I'm showing you here. This is what Hollywood producers say, or directors say, to go start a scene. Lights, camera, action. We're living inside of a movie. The Wizard of Oz was a movie. And it's an operating system. And this was a massive find, so please pay attention to this. Let me narrate this. Just follow my lead. So operating system, of course, is lights, camera, action, but what's the operation? It's 36. That's what's operating this system. So the system is 20, tied to calcium, and what are our bones made up of? Calcium. The skeleton, calcium, clay, Prometheus. We're going to get into that. And duality is 20. Mason is 20. Pawn is 20. The mouse card is the 20th card in the medicine deck. You're getting to see this. This is what we're all in. It's the judgment card, the system that we all live in. From the Wizard of Oz. And what operates the system? The 36. What is the 36? Well, it's the Phoenix. Well, what's the Phoenix, folks? It's the sun. The sun has such a big role in saying this. I mean, look at the projector and then look at the sun and the rays. It's so identical, similar. And the 36th element is Krypton. And where was Superman from? Krypton. What was his, what was that green thing that would bring him down? Kryptonite. It was green. Folks, you can't miss this now. This is staring you in the face. And Superman was from the sun. It's Krypton, the sun. And 83, if you remember me doing my prison planets, I showed the machinations, the incarnation, reincarnation process. The Trinity is the number 83, and it's tied to bismuth, of course. And it's the sun, the moon, and earth. That's the reincarnation, incarnation process. It's the operating system that keeps us in this reality. Can we ever get out? I don't know. Are we stuck here? I don't know. That's something I can't answer for a fact. But this is real stuff here. And, the calcium has an average of 40, but there's the 42. What's 42? 42, we go right back to reincarnation and wonderland and crucifixion. These are all words that equal the 42, tied to the earlier slides that I showed. Right here. Tied to God as a mathematician. And lead. We're lead, folks. 42. Life, the universe, anything. 42. It's the system that we live in. It's a movie. It's not real. Feels real. What about the cards of illumination? What about the cards of illumination? What do they have to say in all this? Well, here's the 36 card in the deck. The 10 diamonds, Lucy in the sky with diamonds. 10 is the binary system. Ted's tied to the Yod. And then duality, system is 20. And here's the 20th card in the deck, the 7 clubs card. So it's the 10 and the 7. And when you bring these two cards together, you get 107. And it's the 28th prime number. Remember how I started this off with Kansas? The geographical center of the United States was Lebanon, which is 28. The zip code was 28. The bullseye is 28. Can you start to say, and Lucifer's 28? 28 is the second perfect number in mathematics. The first being 6, tied to the third eye. Folks, to me, these are undeniable, but it's a matter of what you see. And I thought this was just kind of a great end to this particular topic here, is the 10 diamonds being the 36th card in the deck is found in the tarot. The tarot came after the cards of illumination. Here is the 10 of pentacles. And if you use the fool as the 22nd card, this becomes card number 74. It's one of the most fortunate cards for outcomes if you get this card for a reading. 10 of Pentacles, card 74, and look at what it's tied to. It's the wolf. Feed the wolf. And they used to make filaments out of tungsten. And what is a light bulb? It's a rendition of the sun. So the operating system is telling you, it's Superman, it's the sun, Kal-El. And it's tied to the 74 and the wolf. Feed the wolf. So what wants your energy? The wolf, the sun, tied to the Wizard of Oz. So when you break down these elements even further, I'm spending time on this, folks. This is really important. I know that we're not getting into the meat of the potatoes of the movie, but this is what the movie's all about. Telling you the operating system. So this calcium element here, number 20, is found from this word right here. The Latinized version of it is called calyx or calx. And there's so much more to this, but there it is, the 12. And here it is. Here's the definition, the breakdown of it. Calcium was named after the Latin term calx, which means lime. What color is the Emerald City? Lime. It's lime. What color does yellow and green make? Lime. Think about what I'm telling you here and showing you. Lime, yellow and green. Yellow and green. And then you can get into this right here, the mixture of lime and mercuric oxide. If you want to get into the metal calcium, and that's where you're going to get into Prometheus. So is Prometheus, the story of Prometheus, the Titan who stole fire from the gods and gave it to humans, who molded mankind out of clay. Think about what I'm showing you, this story right here. Is this the wizard? Prometheus. Here is what you make. Here's the formula to make calcium as a metal. Lime and mercuric oxide, 61. Promethium, 61. There's that 144,000. And then the calcium in our bones, and the 42. This has so much merit, folks, tied to the operating system. So we bring Greek mythology into the Wizard of Oz now. So what about that word krypton? How about that one? We broke down calcium. How about krypton, the operating of the system? What runs the system? The operation. It's krypton, the sun. So what this is saying, found from lights, camera, action. Here it is in the Greek. Kryptos, meaning hidden, secret, hidden. And the word golden is 27. I mean, look at the connection to this. Pretty undeniable. Jupiter's 27 is the sun, Jupiter's sun. The sun, our sun could be the son of Jupiter. Could be. And then when you bring these two words together from their original spellings, The Greek was from kryptos, calcium from the Latinized version of it. You could even use the Francis Bacon. But there it is, 27 plus 12 is going to give you 39. And you're going to get this element, yttrium, which is all about time travel, and the number 88. The operating system ends up leading to, through the numerology of these two elements, 88. And that's important because the very one thing that Dorothy said in The Wizard of Oz was, there's no place like home. And it's the Taurus fields. It's beyond the things that we see in our reality, the sun, the moon, the earth, space, the stars. It's the Taurus fields. It's magnetism and electricity. It's the 88. Found from the numerology of these two elements, found from the operating system, which is found from the Wizard of Oz, the OS, osmium, right there. You can't miss this, folks. The code is staring you in the face. And so to finish this topic up right here, if you weren't already blown away already, and this completely blew me away last night when I've just found this stuff last night. Here are the three guys that were involved in the discoveries of these two elements. Obviously, these two elements are big because they perhaps describe the Wizard of Oz and the operating system that we all live through, which obviously the sun has a big say in all this. So these two guys right here, please go fact check this. These two guys discovered krypton, Morris and William, and then Humphrey Davy discovered calcium. Of course, you know I'm going to break it all down with the cards, which here it is. So Morris Travers, January 24th, he's got the 3 diamonds. William Ramsey, October 2nd, he's got the 7 diamonds. And then Humphrey Davy, who found calcium or discovered calcium, was born on December 17th. He's got the Ace Clubs card, card 29, card 33, and card 14. Go ahead and pause this video. Get out your calculator, and I want you to add up those 3 cards and tell me what you come up with. And so if you did that, you're going to come up with this right here. 76. How about that? So when somebody says the cards don't have any relevance, they're being ignorant because they have everything to do. They're 52 cards, 52 weeks of the year. They have everything to do with this reality. Your birthday, your birth card has everything to do with who you are and why you're here. It's a piece of you. These 3 dudes involved in discovering the 2 elements that make up the words operating system found from osmium, the OS, equals the number 76. Are you freaking kidding me? What are the odds? And are these guys trying to mock you? They're trying to pull the woolly over your eyes. Trying to screw you over in life. No, folks, you see, these people are just doing their jobs. You can look at it in so many other ways. I'm just using the Chaldean. But you can clearly see that the Wizard of Oz is osmium. And these 3 guys were supposed to be born into this reality, and they were supposed to discover these elements because of their cards. And you could add up their birthdays, and there's so many more layers to this. So many more layers to this. So let's get into the next topic, home. Home. There's no place like home. And I already kind of gave this one away. There's the 88. I mean, it's pretty right in your face. This is what Dorothy said. She wanted to go home, smack those ruby slippers together 3 times. I could have just went crazy on that. But there it is, the 88. And we start with 1-8 in the Taurus fields, the latitude. Excuse me. And then we have another one. We mirror it. We flip it to its side. And then we bring it together. And there is the 4-leaf clover. I've shown this in my Great Architect of the Universe, the very first one. I've done it in other videos as well. There's the butterfly in the dead center, which is the number 9, which is all about rhodium. And I've broken all this down, but there's the 88. The Taurus fields, there's one that runs north to south, and there's one that runs east to west. That's how this reality works, and it's run on magnetism and electricity, and it's governed by the number 88. No place like home. And you could break down home. Home is 21, wizard is 21. And that's tied to the world card in the tarot. So what about this Wizard of Oz? Well, you got that 21 connection with home. Home is 21, Wizard is 21. But what about this 50, this total outcome of 50? What about this one? Well, I mean, it's tied to money for sure. And those of you that are big into, you Christians or you Catholics or Protestants or Baptists, any kind of religion, think about what I'm showing you here. Do you use money? You tithe. You buy things with it. There's no separation on the God of this world, and you think there's a different God, because if you go into the Bible and you read that kind of stuff, it says that the God that rules this system of thing is Satan, and he rules all things down in this world. Well, I guess he rules religion because that's part of this world. So you can't separate and say, well, no, that's not part of it, but that's money's part of it. No, folks, it's all the same. Just be a good person. 50 and 50, in God we trust. Wizard of Oz. And that's why is money green? It's tied to the wizard. It's the emerald. It's the Emerald City. So when you break down the word Oz, you get the Oz 14, and you get time 14. What is Oz is running time. Here's Doctor Strange with the time stone, manipulating time. We only get so much time. And the Wizard of Oz runs time. And I have a decode coming out on this right here. The house always wins. It's not about gambling per se, even though I have the dice and cards there. It's about the house and what is running the house. And it's all about feeding the wolf. And the house always wins. You bet your bottom dollar, because it's Oz and it's time. And that's what always wins. So I got this decode coming out, and in this decode, here is what runs time. It's our emotions, our two emotions, love and fear, 16 and 21. Did I bring a slide? Yeah, there it is. Here's 16 and 21. This is what runs the operating system through the human experience. It's fear, 16, and it's love, 21. 16 and 21 just so happens to be tied to pi in the Greek and phi in the Greek. 16 and 21. And when you add up 16 and 21 using the alchemical elements, it's sulfur and scandium. Notice they both start with the letter S, which is linked to the word sun. And when you add them up in the dead center, this is what you're going to get right here, 77.016, which, if you reduce that down, you get your Las Vegas jackpot, 777, and the house always wins. What is the house? Well, obviously it's tied to that 77, and it's tied to the 77 in Oz, which is time. It's time. We only get so much time. The house always wins. Time will definitely dictate that. But it's our love and fear emotions. When you do the numerology of 1621, you get the number 60, and you're right back to feed the wolf. Which one you're going to feed? You're going to use both. And it's the wizard that runs it. It's a wizard that runs this paradigm, folks. Here's another rendition of it. Oz is 41 in the English. It's a mirror. It's interesting. Someone had come out with a little thing on social media about Black Star and David Bowie, and his last album, Black Star, the total timestamp of that album was 41 minutes and 14 seconds, and there it was. It's time. And in between the 41 and 14 is the 33, of course, which is the Emerald City. So let's get into osmium now, because this is about the Wizard of Oz. This is the real takeaway. It's the element osmium. Who was behind the green curtain? Well, what is behind the green curtain? It's osmium. Now, osmium, I'm showing a different weight. 190 is its average. 19 is a battery, of course. 191 is its most abundant. So all these elements have multiple. I'm going with the average right now. But here it is. Who is the wizard? Well, wizard is 21, and it's tied to this card right here in the tarot called the World card, which is the last card in the major arcana. Think about what I'm showing you here. The The Wizard of Oz, the 4 fixed signs, the ox, lion, eagle, man. This is all astrology, astrotheology. There is no separation between the Bible and astrology. They're all the same. This osmium element came from this Greek word, osmi, which means smell, but here it is in the Greek reduction, fully broken all the way down. It's the 21. It's a match to the wizard. Think about what I'm showing you here. The original spelling of the word, where it came from, is a direct match to the word wizard that we use, the Wizard of Osmium. Running, and the tarot has its say. This is not anything satanic, ridiculous notions like that. This is all Jewish, and this has got a lot of Judaism in here. Jewish mysticism, the Rider-Waite deck anyway. But there it is, the 21. Tied to the word currency, or gold currency, because scandium is 44. But anyway, you're breaking it down even further when you get into the cards of illumination. The 21st card in the deck is the 8 clubs card. And the 8 clubs card is converted into the 8 of wands. So this is the minor, or the pip cards, as they call it. And this is the 30th card in the deck using the Fool as card 22, and that's linked to this right there. The Demiurge. The Gnostics called the ruler of this reality the Demiurge. It's the Wizard of Oz. It has many hats, many titles, many names. It's the Wizard of Osmium. And this is undeniable in my book. When you bring all these elements together, this gives you the true essence of what this reality means through Hollywood movies and science. You bring them all together. How about when you do the alchemology of osmium, the original spelling osmi from the Greek? It's a 4-letter word. 7248. It's interesting. It has the 7 and the 8 in there, which is the air that we breathe. Going over to the trusty calculator and adding that up, look what you get, 43.13. 43, of course, is not just any number. It's tied to the 191. 191 is the 43rd prime number. And what is the most abundant weight of osmium? 191. That's why I know alchemology, which is taking numerology and blending it with alchemy, and then using the trusty calculator. It's undeniable here. And then using pure math. So who's the Wizard of Oz, or what is the Wizard of Oz? Well, it's tied to this element right here, osmium, obviously, tied to the Emerald City. Going even further, how about the medicine cards? These cards came out in 1988. What do they have to say about the Wizard of Oz? Well, what would the wizard be doing? Spinning his web, casting his web, the World Wide Web. And that's the spider card, 43. This card has nothing to do with the Wizard of Oz, but it has everything. They didn't sit down with this because they had this information. Jamie Sames and the people that created the medicine deck in 1988, no, they were being used. It's okay to being used. Have the time of your life, discover what your code is. These people didn't sit down with this beforehand. Like, oh, the Wizard of Oz, it's osmium. Let's go back to the original spelling and let's do the alchemology of it. And it's going to be 43. And so we have to match that to being the spider card because it's casting the web. The spider catches you. And the spider is the 88. The Black Widow has the 88 on its belly. Or at least it's got the hourglass shape on there representing time. And then if you add up the 76 and 43, the 43 is tied to this element here called technetium. You add it up, you get 119, the 119. What's interesting about technetium is that it's really well known for being I think it's the first artificial element. It's created from artificial. So is this technology, is that just the Wizard of Oz? Is the Wizard of Oz just artificial intelligence? From time, built from time, from human beings. And we created the World Wide Web. And that's why I always say, we're the devils. Be the best little devil you can be, folks. It's okay. It's just the way we're built. So what about the movie? Let's get into some of the nuts and bolts of the movie, which I know you've been waiting for. What about the release date? This is how it's ridiculous. Here's the release date. Of course, 1939 it came out. Of course, as you know, Lebanon, Kansas has got the latitude north of 39 degrees north. But here it is, folks. Here's technetium, and it's from this word right here in the Greek, teknetos. I think that's how it's pronounced. And there's the 39. There it is, found from osmium. Remember where the geographical center of the United States was? It was right off Route 191. There's the 191. There's the 43. There's the 43. And this element, numerology-wise, from its original spelling, broken all the way down in the reduction of the Greek, is the 39. This movie came out in 1939. Lebanon, Kansas, 39 degrees north on the latitude. I mean, folks, start to use common sense and logic. What do you start to see? The code's fixed. It's all dialed into the code. I'm showing this because I came out with this Random Thoughts number 10. If you haven't seen this one, please check it out. It's bringing 7 different topics, all different designs, and kind of decoding them all. But I showed how the tree of life and tree of knowledge is tied to the number 98, and of course tied to the air we breathe, and that 98 is tied to technetium. So if you want to check out Random Thoughts number 10, please check it out. So here are the 4 main characters in The Wizard of Oz. So I decided to break them down. And look at what I found. Here it is. The Cowardly Lion, Dorothy, the Scarecrow, and the Tin Man. There they are, the 4 of them. It's 167, and it's not just any number. It's the frickin' 39th prime number. What year did this movie come out? 1930. So again, do you think that the producers were sitting down? This came out long before the movie. Did they know this prior? And they say, well, we got to come out with it in 1939 because the characters are 167. And they're not going to find this in any other cipher. So if they were conscious of this, guess what cipher they were using? Chaldean. As I have been continuing to show, it is the most purest cipher closest to the source. What about the release date itself and tied to the card? August 25th is when this movie came out. This is the card that it's tied to, the Ace Clubs card, card number 14. There's the more connections now. They would have to get this right. So now the people that are making these movies, they would have to be involved with the cards too. And alchemy, and math, and prime numbers, and pi, and golden ratio, all these numbers. They would have to sit down and do it before they even make the movie. I just think that's absurd thinking. But you can't miss this. 25th, 14th card. The Wizard of Oz is 14. It's time. Ruling over time. Which, Satan is 14. Satan is time. That's what time decays things. It breaks things down. So when I have more of this one coming out. Yeah. But here, I have more on this one right here, this number right here. This osmium, what about this 76? Because this is such a big deal, right? This osmium and the 76. So in the golden ratio, which is tied to the sun, golden ratio. What about that number 76? Well, as I showed, it's found in the 49th and 50th decimal digit, which equals 109, which is the 29th prime number, tied to Yaldabaoth, tied to the Yod. But it's, down in a hole. I've shown this before in the matrix breakdown, down in a hole. So is this the wizard coming down into the hole and becoming man or woman? Is that so far-fetched? It's the fallen angel story. And then we go back to the medicine cards, and lo and behold, they have a fish here. I mean, see how comical this is? So what Jamie Sames, 1988, they came out with this deck. Were they sitting down here with these words and say, well, down in the hole is 49, so we got to make this the fish card? That's absurd. No, they were being used. That's the common sense and logical outcome we have, I think. And we're all goldfish. Gold is 17, fish is 17. We're playing out life. Matrix is 17. That's what's going on here. I'm go right back to the dollar bill. 76 occupies digit 49 and 50, and there's In God We Trust. The Wizard of Oz is 50. So it's undeniable, folks, what we're seeing here. That this is pure mathematical precision. And man could never code this. Man could never code this. So I talked about this just a little bit ago. Here it is, 49 and 50 found from 76 in the string of the golden ratio. 49 plus 50 equals the number 109. It's the 29th prime number. Now we get into more Gnostic demiurge aspect and the worm with the lion's head, Yaldabaoth. And there's some renditions like, is this serious? Because there could be serious. And remember, 29 is the 10th prime number. The 10th letter in the Hebrew alphabet is the Yod. Yod, Yaldabaoth, kind of sounds like the same thing. Is that the Wizard of Oz? Well, they have merit in the story because they're embedded in the mathematics of what I'm showing. And what about that 29? So we go back up here. So we left off with this Yaldabaoth, found from the Wizard of Oz and the digits in the golden ratio. So what about that 29? Well, if we put the 29 in the string of the golden ratio, look at where it appears. We get to Lucifer now. Lucifer, in my opinion, is the sun. Lucifer's numbers, Manly P. Hall, Secret Teachings of... I'm not saying he's right. I'm quoting what he said. Lucifer is 741. Well, there is the 741, and there's a pretty good rendition of spelling Lucifer or Lucy. Lucy in the sky with diamonds. The diamonds is the sun. That's the shape it makes in the sky. The diamond shape. And here's, silicon 14. And it has one of its most stable isotopes is 29. It's got 27, 28, 29, but 29 is one of its most stable isotopes. And that combination of the 14 and 29, there it is. It's the Wizard of Oz ruling over time. So is it Yaldabaoth that is ruling? Is it the Gnostic demiurge in the Archons? That story. And again, it's a story written in the script that we can't prove. All we can do is talk about it, theorize with it. But obviously there's something running this operating system. And if you go outside and study nature, that's going to be the very most common sense and logical thing to do. Study that first. And I think my last slide on this topic right here, I decoded, if you haven't seen They Live Decoded, one of my most watched, this was 1988 this came out. This was the news station that was broadcasting a hypnotic trance to keep you in a spell, and it was cable 54. And 54 in the string of pi appears at the digit 191. And I showed this tied to osmium, the Wizard of Oz. This is undeniable. These movies are telling you all that. They're telling you all that. So let's get into the next topic. Let's be frank. What are we going to be frank about? Well, how about the guy who wrote the wonderful Wizard of Oz? Lyman Frank Baum. And what about this dude who had this origination of the Wizard of Oz? Where the 1939 movie came from. This dude. This is his birthday. Notice the 15. 47 is the 15th prime number. Tied to the Tetragrammaton. Here's his birth card. May 15th, 4 diamonds card. Here, I don't have the boilerplate chart in front of me, but there it is. Most of you should know this now. You should have the boilerplate chart for all the cards. Here's May 15th's card. It's the Jack in the Box card. The Jack in the Box, the fast food restaurant, was founded with this card. Jack in the Box. This guy was Jack in the Box, telling you the story about the wizard, being used to tell you the story about the Wizard of Oz. This being the 30th card in the deck, tied to these two titles or nouns that the God goes by. Goes by many names. Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva. Folks, you could keep going and going and going. It's all the same. So just pick one that you like. Demiurge is 30. The New Age name, Jehovah, 30. Nazareth equals 30. Santa Claus equals 30. And it's tied to this element right here. The element that's tied to Lucifer, phosphorus. There's the 30. And there's the 15. There's his birthday, 15. So if you look at this, he's born on the 15th. This is his birth card. It's the 30th card, and it's right there inside that box. It's the light bringer. It's phosphorus. And it's tied to the New Age name Jehovah, the Israelite God, the God of the Bible, the Tetragrammaton, and the demiurge, what the Gnostics call the God. And when we go even further, if you want to just go right to zinc and go to the protons of zinc, there's this element right here. You know, I thought this was really interesting. You know, the average retirement age in the United States is 65. Just food for thought. When you add up 15 and 30, you get 45. There's his name in numerology. Using these two elements. And then, you know, his first name is 14 and, you know, Oz is 14. So, I mean, the connections from this dude right here are insane. This guy was being used to create the story and entertain all of us. So let's be Frank. So he has the Frank in his middle name. Here's Frank that was the actual wizard behind the green curtain that the dog found. Of course, the dog found it, the D-O-G spelled backwards, of course. Just small symbolism. Here he is, Frank Morgan, Francis Philip Wupperman. Big star in the 1940s. And, you know, the comedy comes right away. It's, you know, June 1st is his birthday. 61's tied to Prometheum. It's got the 6-1 birthday. But here's his birth card. Let's go right to the cards and look at what card it is and the number 42. Remember, God is a mathematician, linking down to the 42. And now we get into life, the universe, and everything. And these two guys right here this is off the BBC and this supercomputer. And these guys, and they did a remake of it called Deep Thought. And there was other people involved. The story just keeps going from Douglas Adams' book called Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. But of course, lo and behold, this guy right here, think about it, and this is green. This machine they made green to match the green of the Emerald City, because there's no separation. And, you know, the secret was, what's life, the universe, everything? What's the big secret? 42. You're not going to like it. It's 42. And there's the 39. Again, there's the 88. No place like home. And you have, this is the original spelling of Lucifer in the it should have been Aramaic. I spelled that wrong, but it's 75, 39, or 12. There's the 39. So you can see the connections to Lucifer. And the 42 is the secret. And this guy right here played the wizard. Think about what I'm showing you. He played the Wizard of Oz behind the green curtain in the movie, the Emerald City. And then these guys were told that 42 is the secret, and they got the green supercomputer machine. And then all the things that came with it. It's just, the code is ridiculously funny. You know, and it's just the emerald green. And, you know, green is 20. The word green equals 20 in numerology, you know. And so I decided to, of course, you know, how about this? Remember, this guy's big. He played the wizard. So here is his card. Here's his element. He's got calcium as well, but there's the element. That means lead. So is it the architect coming down here and becoming man? I mean, again, the fallen angel story. There's that story. So why is it too far-fetched to not believe that whatever created this reality is not coming down here and using us to use our avatars and experience life? But there it is. It's lead. Again, it's the I am. 95 is the am, the I am, and it means lead to gold. The 3 spades is connected to this card. The 3 swords. And it's the 53rd card in the deck, and it's tied to the I. Yeshua equals 53. See, folks, there's no, you can get into any biblical thing you want and try to like dance around and say, oh no, it's not that. Folks, it's everything. There is no separation. Good, bad, and ugly, it's all down here. And it's all run by the same source. It's the I, it's the I am. Using Frank Morgan. Let's be frank about this. And when you get down here in Wonderland, there's a lot of heartbreak. There's a lot of suffering. Because now you got to play out this avatar. This was tied to the Truman Show. If you haven't seen my decode on that. So if you take these two elements right here, found from this, remember, do we take this guy's birth card, 42, and then it converts into the tarot card, which is card 53. So now we get the iodine, and you get the am here with the 95. So it's iodine and molybdenum. And when you add these up together, from the birth card of Frank Morgan, who played the Wizard of Oz, using that trusty calculator, look at what number you get. Pure math. 222 point, it's a 222, 222.854, but wait, there's more. Because when you take that 222 and you add it to the 854, you're gonna get 1,076. And there's the 76 tied to osmium. But what was even more fascinating about this, I decided to go deeper. And I decided to do the conversion of this in temperature. And there it was. Undeniable. Using just simple conversions of temperature that occur in nature. 107.6 degrees Fahrenheit is 42 degrees Celsius. And we have life, the universe, everything. All found from the guy casted to play the Wizard of Oz. Wow. Wow is right. What about if you do the length? How about the feet and meters? How about the conversion? So if you weren't convinced then, like, oh yeah, that's fun, okay. You're not a believer? Well, how about feet to meter? How about the conversion of that? 137 feet, 42 meters. So there's that 137 tied to the 42. Life, the universe, everything tied to the Wizard of Oz. Tied to the guy who they casted to play the Wizard of Oz. Tied to his birth card, 42. So I brought it in and I decided to take a look at this. And of course, I showed this earlier. What's 137? It's the 33rd prime. And there's the 33. And so this is why it's not Masonic, folks. It's like we have to get over these concepts of like, it's Masonic and it's Jesuit. Folks, they're just using them. They're being used. Now you're conscious of it. What are you going to do about it? You're going to stop pointing the finger? So it's right there. The Emerald City. City's pi, 3.141. We live in cities. But it's the 33 tied to the measurement of feet to meters. 137 and 42, life, the universe, everything. Tied to the 33. It's pure math. This is mathematical genius, not done by man. And so we're being laughed at, not by man, but by whatever's running this reality. You gotta have fun with this. Because it goes right back to this 56 element. I showed it really in the very beginning, breaking down Kansas. And the latitude, longitude of Kansas being 137. The heartland, the bullseye of this world in the United States, anyway. And that's why they chose Kansas for this movie, The Wizard of Oz. But it's tied to this element, barium, and barium is 137. It's the 33rd prime number, and it's go right back to Hollywood. That's right, because there's no separation. Hollywood, we're in a movie. And it's lights, camera, action. So 56 tied to the protons of barium. Barium has an atomic weight of 137. It's average, I should say, and it's the 33rd prime number tied to the Emerald City, found from the conversion of these things that are found in nature, feet to meter, and Celsius to Fahrenheit. It's the Wizard of Oz. It's all mathematically precise, not done by man. Have fun with this reality. Know your code. So let's break down this movie aspect. This is huge. This element, I'm gonna go deeper in this for another decode, but I'm gonna skim the surface of this because this was some of the most profound pieces of decoding I have ever found to confirm that whatever creates this reality comes down here and becomes man or woman. This is my support for that. It's my opinion, but here's my support. So we know lights, camera, action is 56. We know barium is 137. We know it's tied to the 33, and barium is swallowing the light. That's what it means, because we swallow barium for a barium meal. You just got to convert it into the spiritual sense. So here's the characteristics of barium. The reason why I'm showing this is because the melting point of this element, we're made up of liquid, is 1,000 degrees Kelvin. Kelvin's measured from the sun, the K. Potassium, 19. But this is where it was right here, folks. This was jaw on the floor, mic drop. Going into the golden ratio. Why the golden ratio? Because the golden ratio is tied to the sun. Lights, camera, action. It's the projector. And here it was. Where that 1076, why that 1076? Well, it's tied to right here. Found from the guy that played The Wizard of Oz, his birth card. That's what we started, and we got the 1076. Well, I looked up that 1076 in the string of the golden ratio, and look at where it's found. At the 1001st decimal digit. That's where it starts. So what's before that? 1000. So we know 1076 is tied to the Wizard of Oz. So one digit below that is 1,000. There it was. It's swallowing light, coming down and slowing down and becoming physical matter. Folks, think about what I'm showing you here. That 1076, one digit behind, it's the number 2 of all numbers, which is duality, tied to the bull. Taurus, the bull, is the second zodiac sign. Duality at the 1000th decimal digit, and it's tied to the melting point of barium, which is lights, camera, and action, tied to the 137 and the 33rd prime, tied to Emerald City. Folks, this is profound information I'm showing you. At least I think it is. What about the string of pi? Well, as most of you know, the decoders out there, the 101 is the portal, tied to it. And 853rd decimal digit is the occupying digit for the 0 right there. So at 1000 is the reason why I'm showing the 1000 is because it's the melting point of barium, and barium is tied to perhaps how we got here. The story of it anyway. So where's the 1000 found in the digits of pi? Right after the freaking portal. It's right after the portal, the 101 portal. 854, 853 is the portal. And when you go 853 digits into the string of pi, including the 3 point, you're going to get the number 3,803. There it is. This 0 right there is the portal. Found from that 1000, found from barium's melting point, perhaps giving us the indication of how we actually get here to some degree. I know this is pretty abstract, but to me, this is some of the most profound stuff I've ever found, if you know what you're looking at. And when you add up these digits, this is another way to decode. Take all your digits in the string of pi, add them all up. What is your outcome? 853 digits. There is the 0, the 710. There it is. Just so you know, that's where it is. You can go fact check this. There's the 710 ending it. It's 853. Adding on the 3 point gives you 854, but there's 3,803. Why is this important? Why is the 3,803 important? Because it brings us to this right here. 383. So I decided to look at the 383. Why did I do that? Because it's tied to the 76. 383 is the 76th prime number. Think about what I'm showing you here. 383 is the 76th prime number. And it's osmium. So we have this connection of the 383. It's right there, found in the total addition of the string of pi, where the 1000 and the portal is. And that's found from the melting point of barium, which is lights, camera, action, which is tied to the 33 from the 137 being the 33rd prime number. Think about what I'm showing you here. We're inside of a movie. This, to me, is absolute support. The melting point of barium. I got way more. I'm digging into this, but I got way more. So I decided to look into the 383 because I know it's the 76 prime number. It's a pretty big deal number. So I typed in 383 into Google. I wanted to see what in our reality is tied to that 383. And it's this building right here in New York, of course, the root chakra. 383 Madison. Look at the specs on this thing. It's surrounded by 4 city streets, Madison, Vanderbilt. You can decode all this if you wanted to. 46 and 47 is tied to the Tree of Life and Tree of Knowledge. It was formerly the Bear Stearns, now it's J.P. Morgan Chase. And when you look at the design of this was the clues. It was designed by David Childs of Skidmore, Owings, and Merrill. 755 feet, 47 floors, tetragrammaton. So much, and it's built on a square with an octagon-shaped tower. Octagon is the 6-sided polygonal shape. 8-sided polygonal shape. Tied to the sun, because 19 is the 8th prime number, which is an octagon. And then it terminates at a 70-foot crown. 70 is tied to the house that always wins. 70. I'm going to be showing that in that decode. But this 383 Madison decided to break it down. Skidmore, Owings, and Merrill, the people that designed, or it was through this firm that designed the building. And there it was. It's just comical. It's just funny. What they go by is tied to the GOD, tied to Oz, because Oz is 14. And look at what their revenue is for 2021. These are the subtleties that you look at and you just laugh. Like, is this really what their revenue was? I didn't even check it out. What it was last year, I wonder. Do they even know this? There's the permutation of GOD right there. Permutation of their business name. Why would they do that in 2021 if they did this consciously? These are the questions I ask. So let's get into the last topic now, folks. This has been a long one. Thanks for sticking with me. So I'm going to get more into the 76 and finish it up with this 76. You got the gas stations in the United States, 76. Now you know why next time you drive by a 76, it's the Wizard of Oz. Playing tribute to the Wizard of Oz that runs this reality. However that looks. So here it is. The 76 appears at the 49th and 50th decimal digit. I already showed that a little bit earlier, but there it is. And when you add up all these digits, going all the way to the 76, 49 and 50, you're going to get 252 in the string of the golden ratio. So here's pure math again now, showing the Wizard of Oz. 252 is the total addition of all these digits, 1.618033, all the way to the 76. And we end there. There it is, 252. And there's the golden ratio. The 1,601st number in pure numbers now is the 252nd prime number. It's the 1.61. We originally found this from the golden ratio. See, this is pure math right here, folks. This is not theory. This is not my opinion. This right here is in your face pure math and tied to sacred geometry, because you can get shapes out of this. It's the Wizard of Oz right there, folks. It's undeniable. So it's tied to the golden ratio. Look at these stinks right here. You can't miss it. So I think I got a couple slides left here. So I decided to go and bring it into the string of pi. What does the string of pi got to say with it? We just found the golden ratio tied to the 161. Remember Kansas, all the way back to the beginning was that 161. But in the string of pi, it occupies digits 569 and 570. 569 is the 104th prime number. The 104th prime number. And the 104 is going to be embedded into this element right here, the 46th element called palladium, which means wisdom. From the god of wisdom. And this is the card in the cards of illumination, the 46 card, the 7 spades card. And it converts into the 7 of swords, which is in the tarot, using the Fool's card 22, the 57th card. Where's the 57? Right there. There's the 57 right there. So it directly embeds both the tarot and the cards of illumination, and alchemy, and math, and prime numbers found from the Wizard of Oz in the string of pi. What does this card mean? Well, it definitely is tied to recycling. If you remember watching my prison planets, 1937-46, there it is. The 46 is the representation of Earth. Please go watch my prison planets. 1920, 37, 38, 46, 47. This is Earth. Of course, 7 days of the week. Saturn. 7 chakras. 52 weeks. 5 plus 2 is 7. It's the recycle process. Of course, this logo, I broke this down. The original logo was made of green. Why was it made of green? It's tied to the Wizard of Oz. And even in the Francis Bacon, the capitalization of the God, there's the 104. This is undeniable right here to me, with all these layers. And then to kind of finish this part of it off and ask you what you saw, I think that was to ask you what you saw, what does this card mean? The 57th card found from osmium. Going all the way down, breaking it down from pure math and palladium and the recycling process. The game needs players. You know, take a break, put this on pause and read some of these right here on what this card means. The keywords. And you'll get your rendition of what this reality is all about. Because it's everything and all this and more. Folks, we don't have a say in this. You're down here until you die, and then we don't know what happens after that. But the Wizard of Oz runs this reality in a big way. It writes the script. I got The House Always Wins coming out. That one will show with clear and convincing support that the house is what runs over all of us, and it is what always wins. So maybe when we leave here, that's a different story, but we may just never leave. You may just get recycled back into the game. And that's what it looks like right there from the Wizard of Oz. So anyway, folks, what did you see during this presentation? I know that there were many things I could have added into this, the storyline of the movie, but obviously I wanted to pay a lot of attention to the osmium and the Wizard of Oz. You can clearly see that these layers that I've brought in are absolutely, in my opinion, undeniable. It tells you what the Wizard of Oz is, tells you and shows you how it's tied into the script of our reality called life, from states to cities to zip codes to movies, to people that are producers, that are actors and actresses in movies, to the mystical art platforms, to cards, to just simple things as the recycling logo. People are being used. And when you let go and just observe your code and figure out what the hell you're doing here, life becomes so much easier. I can tell you that from experience. So anyway, folks, that's all I got for today. My name is Logan. This is Decode Reality. I thank each and every one of you for all your Patreons, your donations. Till next time, folks, we'll see you later.
Puh. Ich glaube, jetzt erstmal kurz Luft holen. Es ist wirklich wahnsinnig viel Input. Ich gestehe dazu, dieses Thema Gematria, ich suche gerade die Zahl 14, weil es wurde gefragt, ist so, sieht simpel aus, aber wenn also ich habe ja schon viele Videos gesehen mit Gematria. Das ist echt mindblowing. Der Typ ist awesome. Also, mir fehlen wirklich teilweise die Worte. Ich muss mir das Video wirklich selber nochmal anschauen. Und nochmal und nochmal. Es ist, ja, ich merke es gerade selber. Ich bin da jetzt wirklich auch ein bisschen geflasht nochmal. Ich werde vielleicht wirklich nochmal zum anderen Themenbereich von ihm mal was raussuchen. Aber schon seine Stimme und wie er das rüber, also das ist, man kann gar nicht aufhören zuzuhören. Also ihr könnt gerne mal, was ihr dazu sagt, könnt ihr gerne mal schreiben. Die Zahl 14 hat ja auch eine bestimmte Bedeutung oder Zahl 17 ist aufgetreten. Was mir jetzt bei ihm frisch dazugekommen ist, jetzt aus meiner Perspektive, ist auch, also zum Ersten, es ist alles miteinander verbunden, nicht verboten, verbunden. Ja, ist connected. Alles. Es ist da. Und wenn ich mir jetzt anschaue, Berühmtheiten hier, ja, das ist jetzt dumm, ich hätte mir das mal aufschreiben müssen, ein Time-Marker. Ja, hier, wo er Berühmtheiten zeigt, jetzt stelle ich mir die Frage. Ich werde alles verlinken, der Kanal heißt Decode Your Reality. Wenn wir uns zum Beispiel Tesla oder Einstein oder bestimmte historische Sachen uns anschauen von Wikipedia, was er jetzt hier auch schon ein paar Mal gemacht hat, und sich diese Zahlen, diese Kodierungen sich anschaut und das mit Gematria dann aufschlüsselt, dann frage ich mich wirklich, wer sind diese Typen hier? Sind die noch gefotoshoppt oder irgendwas? Das ist krass. Und das ist das, was ich immer sage. Ich bin hier in einem totalen Film. Und wenn ich mir manchmal einen Tag anschaue, wie er abläuft, und du wirst dran gehindert oder permanent wirst du gestört oder was für ein Programm läuft da gerade? Das ist immer das, oh, jetzt läuft wieder ein Programm. Du fährst auf der Straße, du hast eine rote Welle. Oh, volles Programm läuft hier gerade ab. Volles Programm. Super. Dann fange ich an zu lächeln. Sage ich, ja, okay, gut, lassen wir das Programm mal laufen, beobachten und dann versuchen wir mal, das Programm zu umgehen. Ja, die Matrix oder Simulation oder er hat es wirklich hier auf den Punkt gebracht. Also ich finde das mega genial. Ich check mal die Uhr. Ja, schreibt ruhig mal was in die Kommentare, eure Meinung. Bitte, seid so gut. Das interessiert mich auch. Wie seht ihr das? Ist das crazy? Ist das dahergesponnener Blödsinn? Oder wie seht ihr das? Würde mich echt mal interessieren. Das ist, Gematria ist mega genial. Weil es Logik ist. Mathe ist Logik. Es ist nicht, es ist, wie hat er gesagt, es ist da. Hm? Auch das mit der 17 war sehr interessant. Vor allen Dingen das mit den Elementen hier ja noch, ja. Das mit den Elementen finde ich genial. Das ist mir jetzt hier neu mit den Karten. Ja. Das war jetzt für mich wirklich auch neu. Dann hat er ja noch einen Aspekt. Ich warte noch auf eure Kommentare, wirklich. Hier die roten Schuhe, da möchte ich jetzt nicht so öffentlich was dazu sagen, aber ich denke, das ist auch, ja, wissen einige, worum es geht. Ich habe mir übrigens gestern mal so einen Film angeschaut, The Green Knight. The Green Knight. Sehr interessanter Film. Auch die Symboliken waren sehr interessant. Und dann war ja der Film fertig, dann dann habe ich noch so ein bisschen gezappt, mal so im Fernsehen. So Einschlafprogramm, sag ich mal, und dann lief das 5. Element. Also ich bin echt am Überlegen, ob ich mir in dem Film das 5. Element mal vornehme, weil ich habe in den paar Minuten, was ich da gesehen habe, ich kenne den Film, ich mag den auch irgendwo sehr, weil da auch sehr viel interessante Aspekte da drin gezeigt werden. Mal hier und da ein bisschen was aufzuschlüsseln. Also ich würde mich da gerne mal dran versuchen, weil das kann man ja mit jedem Film machen. Und die Botschaft auch hier von ihm ist ja, jeden Film, den wir uns anschauen, da sind versteckte Nachrichten enthalten. Oder es wird ja eigentlich die Wahrheit gezeigt, nur wird es schön geschmückt, so, ja, so richtig schön so eingepackt mit einem rosa Schleifchen und mach mal das Schleifchen auf und dann das nächste, die nächste Schicht, die nächste Schicht. Die Überraschung erlebst du dann irgendwann. Und irgendwann, ein paar Jahre später, so wie wir befassen uns jetzt mit bestimmten Thematiken, werden hier und da, stoßen wir an neue Techniken auch, unter anderem, ja, das ist ja eine Art Technik, die wir hier uns anschauen, um das ganze Lernen zu entschlüsseln, was uns die ganze Zeit verborgen wird. Und das zu verstehen, das finde ich genial. Und es gibt nicht so viele, die so genial sind, die das hier so präsentieren. Also das ist einer der wenigen, wo ich jetzt entdeckt habe, die das so toll machen, ja. Und das macht mir auch sehr viel Spaß, da zuzuschauen und auch mit viel Interesse. Und mir ist es wichtig, es euch auch zu teilen. Und es gibt mit Sicherheit hier der ein oder der andere, der das genial findet und möchte sich damit weiter beschäftigen. Ich habe ja hier, wie gesagt, das würde jetzt 18 Minuten gehen. Ich weiß jetzt nicht, wie weit ihr noch fit seid. Ob ihr Interesse dran habt, da geht es auch um den Zauberer von Oz, von dieser netten Dame, die auch mit Gematria, wie gesagt, arbeitet, aber noch andere Aspekte, so viel ich mich erinnern kann, hier reinbringt. Sie hat, glaube ich, verschiedene Videos gemacht. Decoding, der Kanal heißt Decode the Matrix, hat noch wenig Abonnente, also ihr könnt da gerne mal reinschauen. Also zumindest mal für alle die wirklich sich mit Gematria auch ein bisschen auseinandersetzen möchten. Besteht da Interesse jetzt noch so? Ich weiß, es ist spät und ich mag nicht so gern über die 0-Uhr-Grenze springen. Theoretisch würde das sogar noch reichen. Wisst ihr was? Wir machen das. Wir machen das. Wir machen das. Auf geht's.
Hello, my friends. Welcome again to my channel. Today we are going to speak about our chromosomes. I am going to use two systems of numerology. English ordinal, that uses numbers from 1 to 26, A being 1 and Z 26, and Chaldean, that attributes numbers from 1 to 8 according to phonetics. I also use alchemy to decode with the elements of the periodic table. Chromosome is 47 in Chaldean, matching the tetragrammaton. You can break it down in chrom, oz, Element chromium means color, and element osmium means smell. Is the unit of electrical resistance. Element chromium means color. Color is 84 in English ordinal, matching element polonium. Polonium is derived from the word Poland, and Poland is 28 in Chaldean, like Lucifer. Color is 28 in Chaldean, directly matching Lucifer. Poland is 62 in English ordinal, like in the word chrome, matching element samarium. Samarium is derived from the word samarskite, that is 26 in Chaldean, like chrome in Chaldean and God in English ordinal. 62 is the mirror number of 26, and both numbers lead to God. Samarium is 95 in English ordinal, matching element americium. AM is 14, like Satan. AM is half of the I am. God is called I am that I am. Samarium is 22.
Hier ist die Zahl 14, so, wo gefragt wurde. Ich unterbreche ganz kurz, ne? Zahl 14.
2 in Chaldean, matching element titanium. The atomic mass of titanium is 47, like the tetragrammaton. Titanium. Ti is 29 like Yaldabaoth. Titanium is 107 in English ordinal, and 107 is the 28th prime number. 28 is Lucifer. Titanium is 26 in Chaldean, like God. Titan is 15 in Chaldean, matching element phosphorus, whose name is derived from phosphoros, meaning the bringer of light, and refers to Lucifer. 15 is also the devil tarot card. Colors are represented in the rainbow. It's interesting to see that rainbow is 24 in Chaldean, matching element chromium, that means color. Rainbow is 82 in English ordinal, matching element lead, and lead is Saturn's metal. Lead is 22 in English ordinal, matching element titanium, with an atomic mass of 47, like the tetragrammaton. Lead is 13 in Chaldean, matching the Death Tarot card. Saturn is said to devour his children. 13 is also element aluminium, that has an atomic mass of 26. 26 is God in English ordinal. Aluminium is derived from the word alumin, meaning bitter salt. Bitter salt is 126 in English ordinal, matching the atomic mass of iodine, the iode. Bitter salt is 29 in Chaldean, just like Yaldabaoth. The land of the Wizard of Oz is somewhere over the rainbow. Oz corresponds to element osmium. Oz is 14 in Chaldean, like Satan. Osmium is 25 in Chaldean and corresponds to the Fox card. Fox is a code for 666. And Oz is 10, just like the iode. We live in Oz is 114 English ordinal, and this is a 14. 14 is Satan in Chaldean. We have 46 in Chaldean, and this matches the raccoon medicine card. Raccoon is 69 in English ordinal and represents duality, the yin-yang, the Cancer zodiac sign, and the heart chakra. The heart chakra is green. Does it have something to do with Emerald City? Raccoon is 28 in Chaldean, just like Lucifer.
Hier wollte ich gerne mal was einwerfen, weil ich das gerade sehe. Raccoon. Kann jemand was mit dem Namen anfangen? Raccoon? Kennt jemand den Film oder ihr kennt den Film, diese Resident Evil? Raccoon City? Kennt ihr, ne? Wenn ihr die Buchstaben vertauscht, was kommt denn da raus? Corona. Wenn ich richtig bin. Also ich meine, da habe ich ein Video gesehen, da wurde das erklärt. Raccoon City, Corona City. Aus dem Film Resident Evil. Und so mal, was ich mal in einem anderen Video gesehen habe.
Emerald City is the capital city of Oz. We have 115 in English ordinal. This number can be found in one of the atomic masses of element tin. Sn is 33, matching element arsenic. Tin is 10. The iode is the 10th letter of the Hebrew alphabet. Emerald City is 33 in Chaldean, matching element arsenic, and it has an atomic mass of 74, like Lucifer. Arsenic is 69, and 69 is duality, the Cancer sign, and the heart chakra. Is Oz representing the heart? AS is 4, and also 13 in Chaldean. 13 is the Death Tarot card. Emerald is 58 in Chaldean, matching element cerium. Cerium is 69 again in English original, which leads us to duality, and 21 in Chaldean is Saturn's number. Emerald is 24 in Chaldean, like rainbow. 24 chromium has the symbol of a winged skull, and it represents death. Arsenic is 69 in English ordinal and 20 in Chaldean. 20 is 107 in English ordinal, and 107 is the 28th prime number. 28 is Lucifer. 20 is 25 in Chaldean, matching the Fox medicine card, and Fox is a code for 666. So I would say that Emerald City and emeralds represent a heart chakra. The land of Oz is 126 in English ordinal, and this corresponds to the atomic mass of iodine, the iode. We have 56 in Chaldean, matching element barium. The atomic mass of barium is 137, and this corresponds to the fine structure constant. Ba is 3 and also 21, and this corresponds to Saturn. A 137 is the fine structure constant. Fine structure constant is 86 in Chaldean. This string of digits, 86, is found at decimal place 74 in pi. 74 is Lucifer in English ordinal, matching once again element arsenic. Arsenic is 69, the duality. FSC is 28 in English ordinal, matching Lucifer, and in Chaldean we have 14, like Satan. 74 appears at decimal place 56 in the strings of digits of pi. 56 matches element barium that has a weight of 137, the fine structure constant. Light is 56, and Lucifer is the bringer of light. So I would say Lucifer seems to be the one that created this matrix and universe. The land of Oz is said to have been enchanted by Queen Lurline. Who is Queen Lurline? Well, we have 153 in English ordinal. This number corresponds to one of the atomic masses of gadolinium element 64, and it is interesting that we have 64 codons in our DNA, and there are 64 squares on the chessboard, and that represents duality. GD is 11 in English ordinal, and 74 if we look at the letters individually, and 74 is Lucifer. GD is God. Queen Lurline is 47 in Chaldean, like the Tetragrammaton. The name Lurline, if you break it down, looks like lure line. We are the fish caught in the hook. Queen Lurline is definitely Lucifer, who tempted us to be in this matrix. We have been lured into this matrix. On the previous slide, we had GD being 11 in English ordinal. 11 is the Moose medicine card. Moose is 26, like God. 11 is element sodium. The atomic mass of sodium is 22, matching element titanium, linked to the Devil Tarot card and Lucifer. Na is 15, linked to element phosphorus, Lucifer, the bringer of light, and the Devil Tarot card. Na is 6 in Chaldean, and also 51 if we look at the letters individually. 51 matches element antimony, the all-seeing eye. Antimony is 28, like Lucifer. Sodium is derived from the word soda. Soda is 39 in English original and corresponds to element yttrium, and yttrium represents the iode. Yttrium is 126 in English ordinal, matching the atomic mass of element iodine. Iodine is the iode. Yttrium is 22 in Chaldean, corresponding to element titanium that leads to the Tetragrammaton, the Devil Tarot card, Lucifer, God, and Yaldabaoth. Soda is 15 in Chaldean, like the Devil Tarot card and element phosphorus, Lucifer, the bringer of light. In this slide, I will decode Tin Woodman. Tin Woodman is 128 in English ordinal. 128 is an 11, matching the moose card leading to God, plus the sodium element leading to Lucifer, the devil, the Yod, and Titan. We have 44 in Chaldean, matching element ruthenium. Its atomic mass is 101, and this is prime number 26, like God. Ru is also 26. Tin is element 50. Tin is 43, matching element technetium, meaning artificial. Sn is 33, and 33 is arsenic, with an atomic mass of 74, tied to Lucifer in English ordinal. Tin is 10 in Chaldean, like the Yod. 118 is like 28, and 28 is Lucifer. Now Dorothy Gale is 130 in English ordinal, and it is a 13, like the T.A.R.T.A.R.I.A card. We have 42 in Chaldean, and its element molybdenum, meaning lead. And lead is 22 in English ordinal, matching element titanium, and 13 in Chaldean is like the T.A.R.T.A.R.I.A card. And we have element aluminium. The atomic mass of aluminium is 26, and this matches God's number in English ordinal. Aluminium is derived from the word alumen, meaning bitter salt, and bitter salt is 126 in English ordinal, matching element iodine, the Yod, and we have 29 in Chaldean, like Yaldabaoth. Scarecrow is 105 in English ordinal. It's triangular number 14, and 14 is Satan in Chaldean. 32 in Chaldean matches element germanium that has an atomic mass of 72.630. 72 refers to the 72 names of God. Germanium is derived from the word Germania, that is a 22, and corresponds to element titanium, and we know that this element leads to the Tetragrammaton, Titan, Lucifer, Yaldabaoth, and the Yod. Cowardly Lion is 151, matching element europium. EU is 26, like God in English ordinal, and 11 in Chaldean, also referring to God, and Titan, Lucifer, the Yod, and the devil. 43 in Chaldean shows us it is artificial and leads to Lucifer. The Wizard of Oz was first released in the movies on August 25, 1939, and that equals 118 in English ordinal. And the other date is the date of broadcast for the first time on television, and here again we have 118. 118 is like 28, and this is Lucifer's number. 118 is also the atomic mass of tin. Tin is 43 in English ordinal and corresponds to the spider medicine card. Spider is 71 in English ordinal, matching element lutetium. Lu is Lucifer. Spider is 23 in Chaldean, matching element vanadium. Vanadium is 28 in Chaldean, like Lucifer. Tin is 10 in Chaldean, like the Yod. Now, one curious thing is that we have 118 in the latitude and longitude of the company that distributed the movie. The Wizard of Oz was distributed by Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, MGM. Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer is a 233 in English ordinal. This number also matches the address of the company, and this cannot be a coincidence. The company was founded 96 years ago. 96 is duality. 233 is the 13th Fibonacci number. 13 is the T.A.R.T.A.R.I.A card and element aluminium. Aluminium is derived from the word bitter salt, which is 126, matching iodine, the Yod, and 29 in Chaldean, matching Yaldabaoth. 233 is also the 51st prime number, matching element antimony, the all-seeing eye. Antimony is 28, like Lucifer. 64 in Chaldean in the name matches element gadolinium, which is God and Lucifer. 76 in Chaldean from the address matches element osmium, and this company distributed The Wizard of Oz. MgM is 33, matching element arsenic, that has an atomic mass of 74, matching Lucifer in English original. 11 is sodium and leads to Titan, the devil, God, Lucifer, the all-seeing eye, and Decode. The motto is Ars Gratia Artis, and this is 29 in Chaldean, like Yaldabaoth. Now we're going to see what Ohm's law is about. Georg Simon Ohm, the man at the origin of the Ohm's law, is 158 in English original, and 158 is 55 in Chaldean. 55 is 5 plus 5 is 10, like the Decode. 56 in Chaldean matches element barium. The atomic mass of barium is 137, and this corresponds to the fine structure constant. Does this mean that Ohm's law is the fine structure constant? What do you think? Georg Ohm is 88 in English original, and this refers to time travel. 88 is element radium. Ra, like the god Ra, is 3, and 21 like Saturn in Chaldean. Georg Ohm is 36 in Chaldean, and 36 are 666. And 36 is also element krypton, and krypton is 29 in Chaldean, like Yaldabaoth. 56 is linked to 74 in the strings of pi, and 74 is Lucifer in English ordinal. Ohm's law is 29 in Chaldean, and here again we have Yaldabaoth. Ohm is a 36 in English ordinal, and matches element krypton, and we saw that krypton in Chaldean numerology is 29 like Yaldabaoth. Ohm is 16 in Chaldean, matching element sulfur. Sulfurium is 39 in Chaldean, matching element yttrium. Yttrium is 126, matching element iodine, the Decode, and 22, like Titan. Length of Ohm is 88 in English ordinal, matching both elements yttrium for its atomic mass and element radium. Here again we can see that 88 is time travel, and we are in the time and space dimension. 44 is element ruthenium with an atomic mass of 101, that is the 26 prime number. Ru is also 26, and 26 is God's number in English ordinal. Could it be that Ohm is the soul in the 666? And our body, our chromosomes in matter, the torus field of Am? In our cells, and cell is 14 like Satan and Oz. And is Yaldabaoth who is behind all this?
Ja, sie ist halt jetzt etwas anders da in ihrer Präsentation und verwirrt etwas, ja. Aber sie zeigt trotzdem die Verbindungen zu den einzelnen Elementen. Ich weiß nicht, hier war noch ein anderes Video von ihr mit Oz. Ist das hier Spanisch oder was? Ich weiß, dass es da noch ein Video gab. Ich habe, glaube ich, noch irgendwo eins. Vielleicht beim nächsten Mal kann ich das gerne noch mal zeigen. Sind auf jeden Fall interessante Videos dabei. Wie alt ist denn das Video jetzt eigentlich? Wie alt war denn das? Vor einem Jahr. Also sie hat, was das betrifft, ist sie viel weiter in ihrer Präsentation, und ich suche das raus. Vielleicht beim nächsten Mal als Einstieg kann ich euch das gerne nochmal zeigen. Auch nochmal mit Wizard of Oz, wo sie dann auch die Elemente mit der Straße, wo sie entlang laufen und so weiter, aufgeschlüsselt hat. Genauso hat sie das auch mit Matrix und andere Geschichten gemacht. Ja, ich denke mal, das war jetzt so viel Input wieder heute. Und ich habe euch hoffentlich ein bisschen euch auf ein paar Ideen gebracht, oder ihr habt mir auch einige gute Tipps geschrieben. Wir setzen uns vielleicht damit auch öfters mal auseinander. Ich finde, das ist auch nicht uninteressant. Und wie ich das auch jetzt beobachtet habe, war auch das Interesse relativ groß. Ich denke, wenn man sich das öfters anschaut und mir darüber auch ein bisschen diskutieren und ich würde mich da auch freuen, wenn da Vorschläge kommen. Vielleicht hat der ein oder andere wirklich sich schon viel, viel länger damit beschäftigt und hat ein paar gute Videos zu bestimmten Themen, was mit Gematria aufgeschlüsselt worden ist. Es gibt ja auch aktuelle Geschehen, die generell mit Gematria aufgeschlüsselt werden, so bestimmte Schlüsselaktionen im aktuellen Geschehen. Das weiß ich. Ich bin ja schon ein bisschen unterwegs und auch das lese ich. Ich habe auch in Facebook hier und da ein paar Sachen gepostet, die solche Sachen zeigen. Ähm, Ich weiß nicht, ob ich jetzt auf die Schnelle was finde. Ähm, Was mich jetzt hier auch ein bisschen, ja, auch hier, wie gesagt, ich kenne das andere Video. Ich war jetzt echt der Meinung, ich habe euch das Richtige gezeigt, was ich mir angeschaut habe. Weil ich habe das wirklich sehr kurz vorbereitet, was ich gerne mache. Ich liebe das, so spontane Sachen zu machen. Ähm, Was wollte ich jetzt sagen? Das mit dem Erfinder oder den Entdecker des ohmischen Gesetzes. Und hier zeigt sich wieder eigentlich für mich persönlich, also jetzt meine Perspektive, gab es diesen Menschen wirklich oder war das nur wieder eine Figur, die da hingestellt wurde? Ach Mensch, warte mal, warum scrolle ich mir eigentlich die Finger wund? Geht doch viel einfacher. So, ich weiß, ich hatte hier was gepostet. Ich habe die Bilder im Kopf. Ich mache das jetzt extra ein bisschen schneller. Ach, siehst du, was ich vermisse, ist auch so ein bisschen Musik. Guck mal. Das hatten wir ja das letzte Mal besprochen. Ja, hier übrigens, das würde mich auch interessieren, würde ich euch auch gerne mal präsentieren, mit diesen Kornkreisen. Da gibt es auch verschiedene Theorien, wo die Kornkreise aufgeschlüsselt werden. Ist auch so einer meiner kleinen Nischen, womit ich mich gerne mal so zwischendrin einlese. Ist nicht so populär. Habe ich jetzt festgestellt, hat auch seit geraumer Zeit etwas nachgelassen. Ja, das ist auch interessant. Warte mal, was steht hier? Ist es hier jetzt... Ach, das ist ungarisch, warte mal, oder? Die ungarische Heilige Krone, 1790 Februar, die Rückkehr der Philippes, 20 Almos. Ah ja, okay, gut, das habe ich mir noch nicht durchgelesen. Ich hab's gleich. Gib mir eine Minute. Oder 30 Sekunden, sowas. Ah, das ist... Ach gut, die Uhrzeit ist ja... hier, Lifting the Veil, ein super genialer YouTuber. Der hat, Was hat er gemacht hier? Irgendwas mit Sexmagie bei der Olympia-Eröffnung, so viel ich das jetzt herausgelesen hatte. Das hat er hier auch aufgeschlüsselt, so ähnlich wie ich das in dem Video euch gezeigt habe, dass bestimmte Veranstaltungen ja auf etwas hinauslaufen, also Rituale unter anderem und bestimmte Dinge zeigen, die, ich sage mal, vielleicht auch eine Vorhersage ist oder eine Geschichte ist, die schon passiert ist. Also eine Vergangenheit, Gegenwart, Zukunft, Geschichte wird immer präsentiert. Und da hat auch Gematria etwas mit zu tun, wo viele Menschen das dann gleich aufschlüsseln. Und ich finde da immer relativ schnelle YouTuber, also die sind da gar nicht zimperlich, die dann rucki die ganze Sache aufgeschlüsselt haben mit Gematria und dann sozusagen die Botschaften verstanden haben. Und dann kommen auch daher diese interessanten, ich sage mal, Aufschlüsselungen, die man auch unter anderem in Telegram lesen kann. Weil auf den anderen wird es ja dann immer gleich sozusagen wegradiert. Och nö, sag mal, das war doch hier gar nicht so lang her. Wo ich würde gerne den Kanal euch zeigen, die ist echt klasse. Ich weiß nicht, kennt einer von euch noch diesen Michael Blumenberger aus dem deutschen Raum? Den hatte ich, glaube ich, schon mal gefragt. Der ist auch sehr, sehr genial gewesen. Schade, dass er irgendwie, ich vermute, gesundheitlich nicht mehr zu sehen ist. Er hat sehr oft gesagt, dass er zum Schluss sehr gesundheitliche Probleme hatte. Und der hat vieles mit aktuellen Geschehen und Bereichen aus Filmen aufgeschlüsselt. Und ich habe ihn auch versucht zu kontaktieren, weil er von einem Buch erzählt hat, das leider nur im Original Russischen zu lesen ist und auch zu verstehen ist. Schade, ich hätte gern das Buch mal irgendwie gesucht. Ah, hier dieser Matthews Burrell ist auch... Ach, mega krass, der Typ. Ja, ich glaube, ich muss es euch fürs nächste Mal raussuchen. Das würde jetzt hier den Zeitrahmen sprengen. Aha, halt, zurück. Ah, ich glaube, das ist sie hier. Mal kurz hier rein. Das ist die. Ich glaube. Okay, da müsste jetzt gleich was kommen hier. Weil sie hatte ein Video gepostet. Ich bin mir da zu 100% sicher, außer hier hat FB eine kleine... wie sagt man so schön? Das rausgenommen. Ripple-Effekt. Ja, ich glaube, das ist es. Ist natürlich jetzt ohne Untertitel, ne? Ach, ich weiß, es... Warte mal. Warum mache ich das so kompliziert? Machen wir es doch viel einfacher. So. Mir fiel bloß das Ding nicht mehr ein. Irgendwie hatte sie so einen komischen Namen. Ich weiß jetzt nicht mehr. The Ripple Effect. Truth Seekers. Wer hat das gepostet? Er hat es gepostet. Ach. Immer dann, wenn man es gerne zeigen möchte, sucht man sich hier den Wolf. Hier auch zum Beispiel, ja? Gematria. Achso, ich lese gar nicht den Chat. Ne, Blumenberger, soweit ich mich erinnern kann. So hieß er auch auf Twitter. Telegram habe ich, meine ich, was gesehen, aber ich bin mir nicht so hundertprozentig sicher. Sei mal so gut, wenn du ihn findest, kannst du mal, sollte der Link eigentlich zu posten gehen. Wäre super, genial von dir. Oder schick mir das auf Discord, wenn du da bist. Ich hol's mir dann raus. Discord ist ja offen. In der Zeit zeige ich euch hier noch schnell mal auch eine Aufschlüsselung von einem Musikvideo. Ja, hier kommt auch wieder Who's the Wizard? Wer ist der große Architekt? Zahl 57. Frequenzwellen 57. Reinkarnationsschleife heißt, glaube ich, Trap, ne? Na, warte mal, bevor ich jetzt hier irgendwas sage und ihr tut mich jetzt... Ach, Trap. Also, so gut in Englisch bin ich jetzt auch wieder nicht. Ich gebe mein Bestes. Ja, Reinkarnationsfalle, genau. Deswegen poste ich ja auch gerne immer über die Saturn-Matrix-Geschichte. Weil die ist immer wieder... Hier Zahl 49. Nur so ein Tipp. Die Zahl entweder 49 oder wenn man irgendwo was findet mit 94. Und dann gibt es den Spiegel. Das heißt, man muss die Zahlen dann drehen. Dann kommt man auf diese Werte auch, ja. Und hier seht ihr auch zum Beispiel das Beast-System. The Walking Dead hat was mit der 49 zu tun. The Fake Universe. Ja, hier Film, Kino, Filmtheater, ja. Wir sind in einem Film 49, die Nephilims 49. The Law of, also das Gesetz von Karma. Das heißt, glaube ich, bei uns anders da. Gesetz der Anziehung oder so. Irgendwie sowas war das. Und so weiter, ne? Also das kann man hier alles aufschlüsseln. Das habe ich, glaube ich, schon gezeigt, ja. youtube.com. Weiß ich, das ist doch hier, oder? Da, guck. Ist das nicht genial? Okay, das ist der Kanal aber nicht, den ich meine. Ah, hier, kennt ihr den Film noch? He-Man. He-Man. Hat mich auch fasziniert, dieses Ding hier. Soll eine Ähnlichkeit haben mit dem Quantencomputer und mit Elon Musk, die Verbindung. Könnte man ja jetzt auch mal aufschlüsseln mit Gematria. Hatte ich ja schon mal ein paar Livestreams gemacht. Ich glaube 1, 2 Stück über das Thema Gematria. Da gibt es auch 2, 3 Webseiten. Ich muss jetzt echt mal hier noch... Decode Matrix, ja, da waren wir ja eben drauf. Okay, gut, also Decode Matrix, da muss ich schauen, die hat noch ein Ding mit Oz gemacht. Und wie gesagt, ihr seht hier Matrix, hat sie aufgeschlüsselt, The Phoenix Decoded, ne, und so weiter und so weiter. Schaut dort rein, guckt euch das mal an, es ist wirklich sehr interessant und da kann man sich bestimmt hier und eine andere Information herausfischen. Gut, ich würde sagen, ja, wir haben die 0 Uhr Grenze überschritten. Und es sind noch einige online. Ich sag mal vielen, vielen Dank, dass ihr alle mit mir die Zeit geteilt habt und verbracht habt. Es war wirklich mega interessant, unglaublich. Ich werde mir mal fürs nächste Mal wieder etwas Neues, Interessantes raussuchen oder ein Thema wieder aufgreifen, was wir mit unserem letzten Video behandelt haben. Es sind einige mehr aufgeweckt worden oder einige mehr haben hier und da ein Puzzlestück für sich wieder entdeckt. Ja, das ist so von meiner Seite her. Checken wir mal den Chat. Und ja, liebe Grüße zurück. Was haben wir noch? Ich glaube, das war's. Hier. Die Varia im Kreuz mit dem Diamanten in der Mitte. Also ihr seht schon, ich versuche immer... Ich bin jetzt noch an einem kleinen Projekt dran. Diese Woche werde ich mich noch mit einem kleinen Projekt beschäftigen. Das Video wird, denke ich, am Freitag rauskommen. Ich werde mich morgen gleich dran machen. Mit der Audio und mit dem Video zusammenschneiden. Das wird so ein kleiner Vorreiter. Und dann werden wir vielleicht noch morgen Abend einen Stream machen. Hier diesen Hutchinson-Effekt kennt ihr ja auch, ne? Wiederholt sich halt alles irgendwo. Ich wünsche euch eine entspannte Zeit. Down the Rabbit Hole. Ja. Ich hätte jetzt Lust, das zu zeigen, ne? Aber nee, ich glaube, wir lassen fürs heute mal sein. Gehabt euch wohl. Vielen, vielen Dank, dass ihr da wart. Passt gut auf euch auf und eventuell morgen Abend eine Runde. Wer Lust hat, Bock hat, bin ich mit euch hier wieder anzutreffen. Ich wünsche euch alles Gute. Bis dahin. Gehabt euch wohl.